It is known simply as the shot. Michael Jordan's buzzer beater that eliminated Cleveland from last season's playoffs. Since the shot, the Bulls have soared all the way to the conference finals last year, and they own the second best record in the East this season. Since the shot, the Cavs have been down and out, decimated by injuries and inconsistent play. Cleveland has been below the 500 mark all season. Now healthy again, the Cavs of Coach Lenny Wilkens are making a desperate run at a playoff berth. Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal from the Richfield Coliseum. Tonight, a Central Division matchup between the Chicago Bulls and the Cleveland Cavaliers. And oh, what a difference a year makes. Last year, it was Cleveland dominating Chicago. This year, it's vice versa, thanks primarily to all those injuries for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cleveland, this year, 17 less wins, and they are battling for a playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. The Cleveland Cavaliers are half a game behind Atlanta, and tonight's game and every game the rest of the way, they have 13 left, very important. The Chicago Bulls, on the other hand, are in pretty good place. Of course, they are trying to get home court advantage during the playoffs. And Doug Collins, as we look at Indiana, Atlanta, Cleveland at 7, 8, and 9, what do you think about who's going to have an advantage there as we go down the stretch?
Well, I think Atlanta's going to have a difficult time staying in the playoffs in the 8th position right now. Cleveland has a very good schedule. They're starting to play well at home. They have winnable road games. They have 2 against expansion. They're at New Jersey. They're also at New York, a team that is struggling. So I like Cleveland's chances maybe to even go past Indiana. Atlanta on the West Coast now for 3 games. It's going to be very difficult for them to hold on.
Michael Jordan is averaging 33 a game against the league, 44 a game against Cleveland. What's the story?
Well, I think that when you look at Michael Jordan, first of all, his greatness, has been so much talked about. But Cleveland plays him more head up than they do the other ball players. They don't double him as much. They want to limit Pippen and Grant and what those players can do. I think tonight they're going to have to try to get the ball out of Michael's hands. He's averaging 32 shots a game against this Cleveland team. They're going to force some other guys to get into the action.
And Cleveland has a guard that's always been a thorn in the side of Cleveland against Chicago, as you well know from coaching them. That's Mark Price.
Well, I think he makes his team go. I think the one difference when you look at Mark Price, without Ron Harper, they don't get many fast break baskets this year. They get into the half-court game a lot. Mark Price going to play a lot of screen and roll. 3-point shooter, Ehlo, and Kerr. Very important part of their offense. But I think with Mark Price, the Bulls must contain him, keep him out of the middle. Don't allow him to get the other players involved.
And Brad Daugherty playing back from his injury. He'll be against Cartwright in the middle. That, too, will be an interesting matchup. In just a moment, we'll be back here for the ball game. But after these commercial messages, we'll join Greg Sager in Atlanta. Along with Doug Collins, Bob Neal with you from Richfield Coliseum. Let's have a look at the starting lineups tonight for the game between Chicago and Cleveland. For the Chicago Bulls, under Phil Jackson, Pippen and Grant up front, Bill Cartwright in the middle, Michael Jordan averaging 44 a game versus the Cavaliers, and John Paxson, who's been in a minor shooting slump, only shooting about 38% the last several games. And for the Cavaliers, finally healing, Winston Bennett will start at forward, but you'll see a lot of Hot Rod Williams. Larry Nance still not 100% from his injury. Brad Daugherty likewise coming back off missing 41 games. Craig Ehlo and Mark Price are the guards. Ehlo, the excellent defender, who'll be trying to stop Jordan, and Mark Price been averaging 25 points a game of recent. Dick Bavetta, Jim Clark, Nolan Fine are our officials for tonight's ball game. As we're ready to get underway, it's a full house here at Richfield. Of course, they're in town to see their Cavaliers battling for the playoff spot, but of course, they're here to see the guy in the middle of your screen. And with the ball, number 23, Michael Jordan.
We have an early matchup here. We see Winston Bennett against Michael Jordan, Ehlo against Pippen. So I think they're giving him a different look here, saving Ehlo maybe for later in the game if it's close, so he'll have more energy to defend against Michael Jordan.
And Pippen against Ehlo right away. Takes it down in a hole against Jordan, who's posted Bennett with the turnaround. And Michael Jordan says so much for that defense. on my first possession. 2-0 Bulls.
You're going to see a lot of half-court offense from this Cleveland Cavalier team, Bob. They're not going to run out much. They're going to depend on getting the ball inside to Nance and Daugherty, maybe forcing some double teams against a Bill Cartwright inside, opening up some outside shots.
Daugherty singled up against Cartwright, draws the double. That leaves Ehlo open for 3.
See, that's what happens when you double team, though. It opens you up for offensive rebounds. So the Bulls are going to have to do a good job once they get into the double team to rotate out and make sure they get on the boards. And let's take a look at the keys to the winning. First of all, they want to push the tempo of the game. They must defend the three-point shot, and they want to get some easy baskets off either turnover, steals, and get into their open court game.
Jordan had looked for Pippen down low. Now it's Cartwright against Daugherty. Cartwright with about 5 moves, missed the hoop. Rebound, Larry Nance.
Bill has really struggled as of late, Bob. He got injured, and he really hasn't gotten back in shape yet.
Larry Nance from college 3-point territory. About a 19-footer. Tied at 2. Cartwright with the short jump hook.
Brad Daugherty really not a shot blocker. The Bulls like to go inside against him, pound the ball at Cartwright, make Brad Daugherty play defense.
Mark Price just inside 3-point territory. Shot at about a foot short. Chicago ball.
Here's the keys for the Cavaliers, Bob. They must score from the perimeter. We've seen 2 jump shots now that they have not made. They want to attack the Bulls' front line. They want to go at Cartwright and Grant, and they must limit easy baskets by the Bulls. No second shots, no runouts, uncontested.
8 on the shot clock for Chicago, leading 4-2. Now into 5. 3-pointer from Jordan. Rebound Ehlo. Cavs will push it up court. Daugherty has Price open for the 3, but he bounces it inside to Nance. Kicks it out to Bennett. Winston Bennett. Tied at 4. Bennett out of Kentucky. Price from Georgia Tech playing Paxson right now. Mark thinks the Yellow Jackets will beat UNLV in the Final Four.
Well, they're going to have their work cut out for them. UNLV playing great basketball right now. Let's see if they double team Michael when he puts it on the floor. See if somebody comes at him. Here comes Nance. They're going to force him to give it up.
2 on the shot clock. 1. The shot off at the last moment. It would have counted.
You saw a double team there, Bob. Excuse me, but you saw him force him to give the ball up.
Daugherty is fouled as he drives.
See, when the clock winds down and gets to about 5 seconds and Michael gets the ball, the minute he puts it on the floor, that's when a lot of people go at him and forced to give it up because he's so dangerous at that point on the clock because he can create a shot for himself or someone else at any time he wants to.
It was Jordan who picked up the personal. Brad Daugherty's last 9 games as he continues to strengthen that ankle that was weakened after his surgery. Had to wear a cast. He's been playing well of late.
Well, they need him. He can score inside. He's also an excellent passer, and he gives them a half-court game. Without him and without Harper, who was traded, they had no fast break, so they had no half-court game. They were really in trouble. There was an over and back violation.
John Paxson drew the double team from Price and Nance, and that's the first Bulls turnover of this ball game with 9:02 to go in the first quarter, and the Cavs leading 6-4 and in possession of the ball.
That'll be an interesting statistic. In the 3 games that the Bulls have won against Cleveland, they have a total of 30 turnovers. That's 10 a game. Cleveland will not win tonight if they don't force some turnovers.
Nance from the corner. Long rebound to Daugherty. Cutting into the paint. Daugherty trying to muscle again against Cartwright. No help there. Held it too long, and the second steals leader in the NBA, Jordan, just took it away. Pippen with the offensive foul.
Well, Michael Jordan made a great steal defensively. He got the ball in the open court, found Scottie Pippen, and Winston Bennett did a nice job stepping in. When you play Scottie Pippen, Bob, you must take away his dunks and his layups. There's a great steal by Michael. Look at the great hands. He goes and he just tears it away, the strength that he has, and he takes off. He hits Pippen, who gets the offensive foul.
Ehlo from the corner. Ehlo with 2, Daugherty 2, Nance 2, Bennett 2, Price. The only Cav not to score so far. It's been Cartwright and Jordan for Chicago, trailing 8-4. The double team on Paxson, knocked out of bounds.
You can really see that when Paxson comes across half court or he came off that screen, they really trapped him big, trying to force him into a double team, maybe getting a turnover, realizing that they must make the Bulls turn the ball over.
Scottie Pippen has to give it up. Bad pass to Cartwright. Nance takes it. He throws it away to Pippen. From 14. Grant with a rebound. Back up strong against Nance. One of the league's better shot blockers, but
there's a turnover forced and a score, so you can see right there that the Bulls thrive on those kind of opportunities, especially Pippen and Michael Jordan.
Daugherty kicks it out to Ehlo, left all alone, missing the jumper. Rebound, Horace Grant.
See what happens when the ball goes into Daugherty, Bob. He puts it on the floor. They double team. It's going to open up shots. Cleveland must make those jump shots.
Here's the double team against Jordan. He pitches into Cartwright, reversing to Pippen, missing from long range. Jordan with a rebound, the basket, and draws the foul from Larry Nance.
Well, Michael Jordan just does everything on the floor. Here's a rebound over Larry Nance. Scottie Pippen against Cleveland in the 3 ball games this year, shooting 16 for 50. So he has not been a good shooter. It looks like that they're gambling off of him and forcing Scottie Pippen to shoot the ball from the outside.
Michael got 54 against Cleveland early in the season.
Well, he eliminated Cleveland for 2 years in the playoff with his greatness, just taking the ball and scoring at every opportunity that the Bulls needed it. So they've seen a lot of Michael Jordan over the last 3 seasons.
We're tied at 8. Cleveland has 10 on the shot clock. Price gets the Nance pick, punched away by Paxson. Good cut by Price down the middle, drew the foul, missed the hoop.
John Paxson has a real difficult time containing Mark Price on that drive. When he gets the bump screen and he gets a little distance, the Bulls are going to have to give him some help when he gets inside.
With a tie ball game, 7 minutes remaining in the first quarter from Richfield Coliseum.
Bob, we're going to take a look here at the double team here. John Paxson's going to come down and give help. And what he's going to do in the double team is going to free Ehlo up and one pass, and he's going to have a jump shot right here. This is the shot that Cleveland's going to have to make tonight.
And Ehlo misses that one. We're tied at 8. Cavaliers 3 of 6 from the perimeter tonight, as you see Ehlo there in a Pippen Grant sandwich as Mark Price goes to the free throw line and rattles it home.
See, Mark Price is automatic on the free throw line. He's shooting almost 90%, and he's the kind of guy when the game is on the line, he'll set screens, he'll throw his body around to get to the free throw line. You do not want to foul him, but you have to. So, great guy to have in there late in the ball game. Jordan
with a bullet pass to Grant, a little too hard as Horace couldn't handle it. Another Chicago turnover. And that is 4 early turnovers. And as Doug pointed out a moment ago, this year, Chicago averaging only 10 a game during Cleveland. So that's going Cleveland's way. It's 10-8 Cleveland with 6:42 to go in the first quarter.
Winston Bennett's a very strong player down low. Scottie Pippen got locked in behind him that time, and Winston Bennett went up strong, and that's another foul against the Chicago Bulls. So that's 3 team fouls here early, Cleveland only having 1. So looks like Cleveland's trying to get it inside also to get to the free throw line.
Ehlo, as Cleveland has everybody out on the perimeter.
See, look at the quickness off the drive, the penetration.
Kicked it out to Daugherty, who usually hit that 15-footer.
Just the quickness and the acceleration of Mark Price to get inside.
Pippen open from 12 off the glass from Michael Jordan.
Scottie Pippen is an angle shooter. Bob, he loves to get it off the glass. He's a good shooter at angles. Not a very good shooter when you force him to shoot it straight at the basket. So he loves to drive to that 45-degree angle and pull up.
Price against Paxson. Tied at 10, first quarter. Price with that change of direction gets the 8-foot hoop, and Mark Price has 4. Quick move by Cartwright, who slipped, traveled, and turned the ball over. Floor looks wet down there.
You know, also, too, Bill's balance has not gotten back yet. After he got injured, he hurt a knee. He had tendonitis. It's like Phil Jackson just got a technical foul. But Bill has been injured, and Bobby has a very difficult dilemma. Bill Cartwright, with the injuries that he's had to his foot, it's very difficult for him to lift weights and do the things to strengthen his legs, and as a result, he gets some tendonitis. So he's sort of in a catch-22 situation, and right now, his balance is not good from being injured. You're going to see it right here. You're going to see him as he starts to go. Looks like he just sort of slipped and his foot came out from underneath him, and then Phil Jackson was hit with a technical foul.
Mark Price sank the free throw. Cavaliers have the ball up by 3. Daugherty with a little jump hook. No. Pippen rebounding. Bulls running. 4-on-4. Jordan wanted the three. Bennett backs off another step. He'll take it. He backed off another step, and Michael took him to the cleaners on the baseline.
Well, Michael Jordan.
You know, you lose both ways.
They say, I better play him at the three. There's a steal by Michael. He knocks it off Ehlo's leg. So
4 Cleveland turnovers.
You know, Michael Jordan, how do you play him?
Bennett said, I'll get up in his face. No, I'll give him the three. No. And by then, 2 are down.
That's right.
Ehlo plays Jordan pretty well. I thought Harper, when Harper was on this Cleveland team, it gave the Cavs a whole lot better opportunity to beat Chicago.
Well, what happens is it gives them more versatility. Ehlo and Harper could both be in the game at the same time with Price. They could go small.
Ehlo tried to get it to Larry Nance, and that's 5 Cleveland turnovers in the game with 4:51 to go in the first quarter. It's a 1-point Cleveland lead. Bad play by Paxson, had nowhere to go on the baseline. Now Price running it 3-on-2. Nance to Ehlo, who missed the layup. He'll miss that layup maybe once a season.
There's 2. You can book this.
We didn't
Almost.
go for about 3 bounces.
Normally Paxson makes that
He's
shot.
been in a little slump the last 2 or 3 games.
He sure has.
But yeah, he's automatic with the jumper. 13-12, Cleveland by 1. Whistle down low.
John Paxson has to really fight the frustration of playing Mark Price. Mark Price is very quick. He comes off screens, and he does a good job of bumping you and holding you and drawing fouls. And in the last couple of years, John has got very aggravated playing against him, as many players do. John has to be very careful not to lose his temper.
As 2 personal, goes to the bench, and rookie B.J. Armstrong is in to play Price now. One of the guys Price is bigger than, one of the few. Price just inside 3-point territory. That was a 2 for Mark Price, who now has 7 points in this game to lead all scorers. Looking for Cartwright against Daugherty.
He loves the left-handed hook on this side.
Goes to the baseline right hand, but Daugherty fouled him. Basket won't count. Cartwright averaging 11 points a ball game this year. Lenny Wilkins looks on, the Cavaliers coach, member of the Hall of Fame as of last May.
You know, Bill Cartwright's importance to the Chicago Bulls team is not as evident in the regular season as it is during the playoffs. You know, you can get by with losing a Bill Cartwright for 9, 10, 11 ball games and play Will Perdue, and you can play Stacey King as a center. In the playoffs, they're going to need Bill Cartwright to bang against Jaminski and Mahorn and the different kind of centers and big people they're going to see in the playoffs.
Charles Davis into the ball game for Chicago right now, and Hot Rod Williams about to come in for Cleveland next opportunity. Pippen getting a rest for the Bulls. Mark Price has 7. B.J. Armstrong just stopped him there as he tried to go down the lane. Tipped out of bounds. It will belong to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here comes John Hot Rod Williams into the game for Winston Bennett. And Williams has been playing very well of late also. And he will give Chicago some trouble down low.
This creates a horrible mismatch now as we see Philadelphia leading Boston. Larry Nance being played by Horace Grant. Charles Davis will play John Williams. They can go to him in the post, and he should have a size advantage, maybe even on the offensive boards.
Williams kept that alive, but it was knocked out of bounds by Chicago. It'll be Cavs ball again.
Watch John Williams do, Bob. We've been in here before. He loves to drive to his right, so when he puts him on the floor, be ready to say, drives right, John Williams. He's going to go right into the post.
Drives right, John Williams. Way to go. How did I know that? I just sensed he was going to do that, Doug, and drew the foul and will go to the line. It's amazing.
That's a bad matchup for Chicago right now. Charles Davis cannot play John Williams. It just depends on how much Cleveland's going to be able to go to it, and will Chicago double team him and force him to give the ball up. But John Williams, one of the tougher low post players in the game, and does get to the free throw line.
Most people think Ricky Pierce is going to win the six-man award, but Hot Rod Williams has been an excellent six-man player for the Cleveland Cavaliers. We have a timeout on the floor. 3:18 remaining in the first. Cavs up by 3. Coming up on Friday night, a big doubleheader. New York will be at Chicago versus the Bulls. That'll be at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Skip Carey and Rick Barry will be there. John McLeod will join me on the West Coast for the Portland Trailblazers versus the LA Lakers. They're in a real battle out there in the Pacific Division. Magic Johnson, by the way, day-to-day with his ankle injury.
Bob, let's take a look at Michael Jordan in the open court, what he creates here. You're going to see him on the drive. He's going to penetrate, and he's going to be able to create a double team situation as we roll this ahead so we get a chance to see this in the fast break. All right, and we're going to see this now. You're going to see now the help, and it's going to leave Scottie Pippen open. The penetration, here comes the help, the throw back, and off the glass. Scottie Pippen on the angle. That's where he's a very good shooter.
Pippen, an improved player this year, but overall, I don't see his shooting all that much improved.
Scottie's getting a lot of open floor baskets. He's getting a lot out in the open court. They're running a little bit more, and as a result, he's been a recipient and played very, very good basketball. He's become an all-star this season.
Cleveland perfect at the free throw line, 7 out of 7 so far in this game with a 4-point lead. Grant from long range. Davis gets the rebound from behind Nance. Jordan goes and gets 3.
Well, a second shot opportunity. Charles Davis with a nice offensive rebound, and Michael Jordan delivering the three-point shot. Let's see now if they go to the matchup here. Charles Davis on John Williams. They've got a low post situation. Should be able to go in it and get the double team here.
Going to his right. Now the double team. Ehlo is open.
Should pump it right back into him. He's still got plenty of time.
Now 8 on the shot clock. Ehlo elects to take it into the paint instead. Ehlo struggling early in this ball game.
Michael Jordan has a way of making you do that.
Jordan sees a slight crack in the Cleveland defense and makes them pay. Jordan with 11 to lead all scorers.
Well, he's on pace for 44, Bob.
It's his average gets this team all year long. Jordan 5 out of 6 from the floor. Ehlo from long range continues his cold shooting. Ehlo has only 2 points in this game.
You know, Cleveland's jacking up a lot of long jump shots here early in the game. I thought they'd pound it inside more. They're settling for that easy outside jump shot. It's just not going for him right now.
That's a 2-point attempt, and it's good by Charles Davis.
See, Charles Davis is the guy last year that helped the Bulls in the playoffs. He's an experienced player. He was in Milwaukee with Don Nelson. And he has the ability to come in and play very well. I think the Bulls are going to need him in the playoffs to be able to spell Scottie Pippen.
Price took advantage of the rookie. B.J. Armstrong had him off balance in the open floor, took the ball to him, drew the foul, and Mark Price goes to the line again.
See, this is the importance of getting in the penalty. You're Mark Price. They have 14 fouls. You're driving the ball down the floor. A guy is playing you tough. You bang into him, and you put the onus on the official. Do you call the foul or don't you? He's walking to the line now. This should be 2 points for Cleveland.
There's one of them. I asked Mark Price about Kenny Anderson, the spectacular point guard for Georgia Tech. As of today, including how great Kenny Anderson is, Mark Price, statistically and in a lot of other ways, is Tech's greatest point guard, you'd have to say, in history. I said, what about Kenny Anderson? He says, I may hold that title for maybe one more game. He thinks that he's... Mark Price says, I like to just watch Anderson dribble the ball. He's so good. High praise from a fine pro player, Mark Price. 13 for Jordan. For 3, Price.
See, you cannot slide behind that screen roll. B.J. Armstrong, when he hits that pick, has got to keep fighting over the top.
Cleveland fell asleep. Grant made him pay.
Those are the easy baskets that we talk about. You've got to take those away from Chicago, especially Grant and Pippen. See, B.J. sliding behind this again. Price is going to get in range to get his shot.
Now Ehlo gets it down to Williams again. Here's the double team. Went to his left that time.
That's
surprising everybody.
That's a new move, Bob.
Less than a minute to go, tied at 24 in the first period. Davis against Chucky Brown. Wanted the foul. Brown got a piece of that. 36 seconds to go.
Look for a quick 3 here. He might go 2 for 1. You better play him because they can get a quick one and get the shot clock, get another possession.
There's Ehlo. He spots out for the jumper, but it's inside 3-point territory, but that's exactly what they had in mind.
Go 2 for 1, Bob. They're going to get the shot. They're going to get the ball back. They defend here against Chicago. They should get the last shot of the quarter.
Ehlo now 2 of 7 shooting. Time remaining in the quarter. About a 1-second differential in the shot clock and the quarter. 5 on the shot clock. Jordan gets Ehlo airborne, hits the basket, draws the foul. That's slightly reminiscent of the shot in the playoffs.
A little bit. You know, see, Michael loves a challenge. And there was a big article in the Cleveland paper today about Ehlo being an outstanding defender. Michael sees that and his eyes light up. You see the pump fake. There he is hanging in the air, Price running at him, the bump, and the three-point opportunity. And Michael Jordan loves a challenge. You've got to just let him play his game without challenging him like that, because he'll throw 50 at you.
Well, he's thrown 16 in the first quarter with 3 seconds remaining. Ehlo will have to launch it from just inside half court. Almost no cigar. Chicago leads by 1. Good first quarter. Looks like we got a good one brewing from Richfield Coliseum. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you as the Chicago Bulls have a 1-point first quarter lead, and here's one of the reasons.
Well, here's an easy basket Chicago gets, because you see the Cleveland front line. They actually have 3 players back, and Horace Grant gets behind the defense for the easy pass. This is the kind of baskets that Chicago thrives on. They must take this away from him. John Williams just let Horace Grant run right behind him.
Tell you what else is happening. You talked about perimeter field goals being a key, particularly for Cleveland. Chicago 7 of 12 from the perimeter. Cleveland only 6 of 14. Ehlo only 1 of 6. So that's in a big Bulls favor at the moment. Nevertheless, Cleveland trails it by 1 opening the second quarter with 7 on the shot clock. From long range, Chucky Brown.
Well, he had a big ball game the other night. 13 points in the fourth quarter of a big win for Cleveland. I think it was against the Sacramento Kings. So he's playing excellent basketball right now, starting to get more confidence as the season winds down.
Chucky, the rookie out of North Carolina State. Here's the double team. Jordan, that leaves Cartwright wide open. He hits it from the baseline over Hot Rod Williams.
Bill's a good shooter. He can step out to 18 feet and make that shot. Daugherty that time tried to help on Michael Jordan.
Price takes it into Cartwright, draws the foul, gets the free throw and the basket, and the official gets a mouthful from Bill Cartwright.
Well, see, what is happening here is they're playing a lot of screen rolls we talked about. And what is happening is Bill Cartwright is being put in a position here. Daugherty's setting the screen against Armstrong. Cartwright has to help. He's not quick enough when he takes that kind of angle. Mark Price hears the whistle, he throws it at the basket, and he gets the three-point play.
Mark Price with 15 points. Jordan has 16. Price has 15. So the 2 guards, as we set up at the beginning of the ball game, fortunately for us, are entertaining the crowd here tonight. Here's B.J. Armstrong, the rookie. Nice move inside. Little off balance. Didn't get it. Price out in the open court has Ehlo. Bad pass from Price. You won't see more than one of those again.
That ball was slightly tipped by Michael Jordan, or Ehlo would have had that. That ball was just enough to deflect it where Craig Ehlo could not finish it.
Steve Kerr checks in for Cleveland. Mark Price will get a rest. Oh my, look at that. Philadelphia 63-49 over Boston. Talk about surprising. This is really surprising.
Well, New York has died. They have really had their problems. They are limping in right now.
It's a 3-point attempt. That is good from Charles Davis.
He's had 5 points off the bench now, plus an offensive rebound that he threw back to Michael Jordan for a 3. So he's had his hands at 8 points.
Big contribution tonight. Chucky Brown gets it back to Kerr. It's Kerr, Ehlo, Chucky Brown, Daugherty, and Hot Rod Williams on the floor for the Cavaliers right now. Here's Ehlo.
Boy, Ehlo cannot buy one right now.
He is 1 of 7 from the perimeter in this ball game. Excellent outside shooter. Jordan saw the opening, kicks it out to B.J. Armstrong. This is from the perimeter. Jordan steals the rebound from Daugherty. Now Williams. Kerr has some problems with it, loses it out of bounds thanks to the defense of Stacey King, who just came in for Chicago.
You know, when you look at this Cleveland team, the one real big difference that I see this year is they used to be able to outlet the ball to Mark Price, and Harper was streaking down the floor. They would throw ahead to him. He gave them 18 to 20 points in the open floor. They really don't have a fast break now. And Bob, when you can't fast break and get easy baskets, it's tough to score 100 points. There's
Paxson, who's missing from the perimeter. He continues to struggle the last 4 games from the outside, which is his bread and butter. Chicago by 1. Pippen, an errant pass to King, but it's corralled by Cartwright. Armstrong from 17. Loose ball foul on Chicago.
Chicago depends so much on the outside jump shot that when shots are not going, they really struggle. When Paxson's shooting the ball, and Michael Jordan and Armstrong, these guys, their offense really flows. But when they're not shooting the ball, they must depend on second shots and open floor game. Right now, Cleveland's doing a pretty good job not letting them do that.
Another Cleveland turnover, that's 8. Chicago on the run. Pippen wanted to hit King, breaking. Lost side of the ball. Now it's 3-on-2. Cavaliers. Chucky Brown missing. Rebound Cartwright. Back comes B.J. Armstrong.
It's getting ugly.
Still a 1-point Chicago lead. 9 minutes to go first half. Kerr running at Armstrong. Shot clock to 5 seconds for Chicago. Pippen blows past Chucky Brown like he was nailed to the floor.
Well, see, Chucky Brown, when you're playing Scottie Pippen, you got to make him shoot that outside shot. That time, Chucky Brown came out straight-legged, and Scottie Pippen just went right around him.
Tree Rollins, John Morton, Chucky Brown, Steve Kerr, and John Williams on the floor for the Cavs now. Williams draws the foul, gets the bank shot.
With a strong drive to his right.
Yes, 6, which we're looking for here tonight. Cartwright's going to get a rest. Purdue checks in for Chicago.
Well, you see John Williams there. He puts the ball on the floor. Bill Cartwright bumps him with the body, and John Williams with a follow-through, and now another opportunity for a three-point play as Bill Cartwright sits down and Will Purdue will check into the game.
Pippen has 2 fouls. Cartwright 2. Paxson 2 for Chicago. Building the fouls. A big disparity in free throws here early in this game. It's kept the Cavs in it, trailing by 1. Pippen working against Williams, good defender. In the post, King can't get it. Williams comes out of there with it. Morton will protect it. Cavs can regain the lead.
That's going to be Paxson's 3rd foul.
They're going to wave the basket off, no continuation, and that is on John Paxson, and you're right. The Bulls are getting into some foul trouble. They're going to get Paxson out of there, I would guess.
Well, what's happening is Cleveland is starting to penetrate off the dribble more. They were earlier standing still and taking the outside shot. Look at Morton here. He's just continuing to barrel down the drive. Paxson bumps him with the body. Chicago, on the other hand, shooting a lot of jump shots. You will not get to the foul line shooting a lot of jump shots. The referees will not put you there.
Bulls with 4 team fouls. Cavaliers with none. There's Williams going to his right and going to the hole. Hot Rod has 8 points off the bench.
He has really become an outstanding player for Cleveland. I know Lenny Wilkins loves him and the way he plays every single night for this Cleveland team. Through adversity and through injury, he's been really the one shining light of this team this season.
1-point lead for the Cavaliers. Jordan posted against Kerr. That's no contest, but Jordan misses the shot. .7:21 to go, first half from Litchfield Coliseum. Cavaliers a half a game out of the Eastern Conference Final 8 for the playoffs. Every game very important for Cleveland. They're battling with Indiana, Atlanta, and Milwaukee for the 6, 7, and 8 spots.
Got to shoot the ball.
Morton with a rainbow.
And the shot clock winding down. John Morton not aware.
No look. Armstrong to King, the 2 rookies combining. King couldn't get the layup, but drew the foul. Cleveland gets a timeout. Larry Nance picks up the, make that Tree Rollins, picks up the personal. We'll be right back. Our Acura leaders, we're talking about Cleveland's 3 for 3, Ehlo, Price, and Kerr. Look at this. The most three-pointers in one season, Cleveland with 303. They're on track to move ahead of Sacramento. It'll be tough to beat New York. Scottie Pippen has only 4 points in this ball game so far.
Well, when I'm on a bank shot, this one on a strong drive to his right that he finishes. You know, that time Chucky Brown allowed him to penetrate on the baseline. Again, you got to force Scottie Pippen to shoot the outside shot.
And that, speaking of the outside shot, Larry Nance has got to be thrilled that that bear has got his jersey.
Well, I'm working with a bear, and so's that guy, so we're even here tonight.
From the Moscow Circus. You're working with a bear. Wait a minute. Am I insulting?
No, that's a compliment.
Yeah. That's a compliment. 1 point lead. Is that a compliment?
That's a compliment.
Okay, I'm going with
bear
it.
of a guy.
Stacey King. Unbearable. King goes to the free throw line.
Now watch out of this free throw situation. Chicago likes to jump a trap on you, so Cleveland is going to have to be aware here. Free throws, we see the disparity right now. Cleveland 10 for 10, Chicago 2 for 4. Cleveland must be aware here of a full court pressure trap that Chicago likes to show after made free throws.
Stacey King averaging nearly 9 points and 5 rebounds a game for the Bulls. The rookie, along with B.J. Armstrong, has really helped this Chicago club this year. Full court pressure. The double team on Kerr. And Nance chases it down. Kerr to the paint, stripped away.
See, again, the penetrating drive. The guards are really penetrating against Chicago right now. Steve Kerr, who's not very quick, that time driving hard into the lane. He's an excellent free throw shooter. On the season, Bob, I think Steve Kerr is shooting 85%. So when you allow these guys to get in the penalty and get to the free throw line, it puts a lot of pressure on your defense to try to stop someone.
Cavs have committed only 1 team foul. Bulls already in the penalty. That was B.J. Armstrong, by the way, who picked up the personal. He has 2. See, look at the difference in his contribution this year from the Suns to the Cavs.
Well, also with all the injuries, he's had an opportunity to play, and he shows he deserves here in the league, a spot in the league. So many times with injuries, a player will surface that will become a part of your franchise that maybe would have gotten lost otherwise.
Kerr will defend B.J. Armstrong. Morton is on Michael Jordan. He was on him for a moment.
How about that? I mean,
then he slipped off of him.
Well, I mean, he's driving to the basket. They go up and they wrap their arms around his waist, and he still gets the shot off. If you want to keep Michael Jordan from shooting the ball, you better wrap your body around his arms and just not allow him to even get a shot off. But watch the strength here. Tree Rollins comes over, he grabs him, and Michael still makes the shot.
And goes to the line for what would be, if should he sink this, his 19th point in this game.
And only the 3rd of this quarter.
Remember, he's averaging 44 a game versus the Cleveland Cavaliers, leading the league with 33.
I don't know if I like John Williams and Tree Rollins back here breaking this press, but
Cav had trouble with it. Ehlo had to lob it to Rollins. I don't think Lenny Wilkins liked it a lot either. He's over there just yelling on the sideline. Another turnover.
That was a bad pass there by John Williams.
9 Cleveland turnovers. Jordan clears Purdue out of the way, takes it past Nance, draws the foul, will go to the line again. Hot Rod Williams had to step in and help out.
See, you know, Larry Nance, I question that defensive strategy that time. He got up belly-to-belly against Michael Jordan, and one quick step, Michael's by him. I think you got to get off of him and say, look, if you're going to make the jump shot, fine, but you're not going to get in there and get our whole team in foul trouble.
Cleveland wants to get Mark Price in the game. They've called a timeout with just under 6 minutes remaining in the half.
Hello again, I'm Craig Sager. While Chicago and Cleveland renew their Central Division rivalry, it's Boston and Philadelphia in the Atlantic. The Celtics and Sixers have combined to win 17 of the last 19 Atlantic Division titles. We'll have highlights of tonight's matchup at halftime. We'll also move out to the Pacific Division for a look at the rivalry between Portland and L.A. And now back to Bob and Doug.
And our Miller Lite player of the game will be chosen at the conclusion of the game. Doug and I will pick Michael Jordan to be player of the game again.
Yeah, tough selection right now if the Chicago wins.
Get this balance as Jordan goes to the line. Jordan has 19, Cartwright 5, Grant 4, Pippen 4, Davis 5, King 1. How about that for balance?
Yeah, well, Michael right now is carrying him until the rest of these guys can get involved offensively. That's the greatness of Michael Jordan.
Which comes in 1994.
Yeah, right. But the thing about Michael is he knows when he has to score, and tonight he feels it, that he needs to score points.
And Cleveland kind of says, beat us if you can, Jordan will hold everybody else down. And historically, Jordan has done just that.
That's correct. And, you know, when you see what happened there, it's another turnover. That's 5 turnovers in the quarter now by Cleveland, only 1 by Chicago. So turnovers and carelessness starting to cost the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Jordan goes up for the jump shot. Ehlo is all over him. He shoots it over Nance. Ehlo came in from behind.
Now those fouls are starting to even out as Michael Jordan has come back into the ball game. He now has gotten to the free throw line 3 straight times.
21 points already, 5:53 to go in the first half. 22 for Jordan. He's halfway to his average of 44 against these Cavaliers. I don't like that strategy to say, let's let Michael Jordan beat us if he can. Well, he can.
Well, it's happened in the playoffs twice now, so let's see the press here again. That's where they got to throw ahead and try to attack. Now they're letting Chicago recover defensively, and now you've used time off the clock. Now you've got 14 seconds to try to run an offensive play.
Ehlo from the perimeter finally finds the range. That's only Ehlo's second perimeter basket. He has 6. He is, Ehlo, 2 of 9 from outside. Chicago up by 3. Nice pass. Jordan into Pippen. Hot Rod Williams will commit the foul. Williams has 2 personals.
Good give and go there that time. Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. Scottie at 6'7", 6'8", with those long arms. When he catches the ball, it's very dangerous around the basket.
Rattles home his free throw.
What's the give and go here? Michael with a great pass, and you see John Williams got caught behind Scottie Pippen. Michael Jordan with an excellent over-the-top pass.
Pippen had 27 points versus the Suns. 9 assists, 9 rebounds, 2 steals. Had a great game against Phoenix. Ehlo for 3. Yes! And Nance breaks up the end-to-end pass, and in the process bangs Ehlo in the head, and he's shaken up. Let's see if he's all right. Cleveland gets 22nd timeout with 5:05 to go in the first half. Bulls are up by 1 and will have possession of the ball with 21 on the shot clock. Ehlo is right now being asked to name the Coliseum in which he's playing.
We're going to see the Ehlo makes a great shot. The ball, you're going to see the double team. Will Purdue double teams back on Daugherty. The open three-pointers, what we talked about, kicking out of the double team. Will Purdue's going to jump out of bounds quickly, throw the long pass.
Talk about the three-point shooting. You see that Kerr is at 51%, Ehlo 43, and Price 41. And look, the team is shooting 41% from three-point territory.
Well, you know, they've had to resort to this year with all the injuries because they haven't had Daugherty and they haven't had a Nance in there for so many ball games. They've lost to Mike Sanders. They've lost to Harper. So their whole team changed this year. Right now, they're trying to get back what they did best going into the playoffs so they can make a run at maybe making a first-round upset.
Jordan with the double team, kicks it to King, back to Michael. What a beautiful play by Stacey King and Michael Jordan.
That's another
careless 25
pass.
And an opportunity to get 27. Jordan is down, he's all right. Nance draws the foul. He now has 2 personals, and Jordan 2 free throws away from having 27 with just under 5 minutes remaining in the first half.
Well, you're going to see the little inline out of bounds play. Michael Jordan popping off. And he's going to give it up to Stacey King and then cut right out of the double team. This is when he's so effective. When you double him, he gives it up and then cuts right out of the double team. Beautiful give and go. And then a careless inbounds pass. Chicago really hurting Cleveland with their full court pressure defense right now. They've changed the course of this ball game. They've got the game in the tempo where they want it now rather than to a half-court game.
Cleveland may have to try to get Kerr back into the game even to bring in the third guard if they continue to have problems with it. Chicago by 5 points, however. Looks as though they should be leading by more. Here's Price from the corner. Jordan and the Bulls will run. Pippen out quickly on the left wing. Purdue down quickly also, as is Armstrong. Grant open from 16.
Well, Horace just came in the basketball game. Right now he's not loose. And the worst thing you have to do is to try to shoot a shot before you get warm. You like to touch the ball a couple times before you launch a shot. That time the Horace was wide open. He really had to take it.
Grant with only 4 points in this ball game. He got him early. Price into Daugherty against Purdue. Draws the double team.
Another turnover. Boy, Chicago very active defensively. Cleveland very careless offensively.
Jordan just followed Purdue into the trenches, then kicked it out. Out of bounds off Cleveland. It will belong to Chicago, leading it by 5. 4:06 to go, second quarter. Look at that turnover ratio.
You see 12 for Cleveland, 7 for Chicago. So in a 5-point game, if possession of the ball is worth 1.5 or whatever, you're talking about a 7.5-point difference in turnovers.
Pippen against Nance. Nance was there to swat at it, causing the miss. Quick outlet to Ehlo against Armstrong and Jordan. Ehlo!
That's reminiscent of Ron Harper of last year, throwing ahead, throwing up, getting an easy basket in a transition basketball game. Nice finish as Ehlo's starting to warm up a little bit.
Ehlo's got 11.
Michael's going into the post now, realizing in the penalty he's going to try to drive it, get to the foul line.
That's the pick from Purdue from long range. Jordan has 29.
He's having fun until you see Michael smiling.
And by the way, in case you just dialed in, we're not near the end of the game. We're near the end of the half. Purdue with the foul. Daugherty goes to the line.
Watch Ehlo split the defense here. He steps in between Michael Jordan and B.J. Armstrong. B.J. that time opened up the gate, allowing him to go through it. Bob, you got to stand there. You got to throw your chest in there. If you have to take a foul.
Ehlo, one of those CBA success stories. Ehlo was called up out of the CBA when Mark Price 3 years ago had his appendicitis and his appendix operation. Called up to fill in for Mark Price, who was injured. Played very well, has stuck, and now become a starter on this Cavaliers team.
And just signed a big contract, making well over $1 million now. So, as in life, right spot, right time, and then be ready to take advantage of it. And Craig Ehlo worked very hard, and he's a beneficiary of that right now.
Chicago by 4. $10 on the shot clock. Pippen kicks it to Grant from 18. Grant's cold.
Look at Michael Jordan. How's he come out of there with that rebound?
And he got it inside of Brad Daugherty, the 7-footer. But the Cavs escape. Kick to Williams from Price. He draws the foul. There's the Cleveland break working this time.
Now,
Price got Williams out on the wing.
Michael Jordan got the rebound. He missed the shot. And not only that, but he covered back and actually was the one that got the foul. But you watch this. Now, you tell me at 6'6", 200 pounds. Look at this. Look at this. Is just sheer effort to go in and take the ball away. Now, he's going to go up with a little jump hook that he doesn't get. But the amazing thing is he's back defensively to defend against John Williams running out on the break.
John Williams with the free throw.
You know, you talk about superstars, and, you know, I had the opportunity to coach Michael Jordan. The one thing you knew about him every night, he was going to play hard. I mean, he's going to throw himself out there, and he's going to go after loose balls, and he's going to do whatever it takes to win. And he's just a magnificent athlete, Bob.
Bulls lead has been cut to 2. 2:44 to go first half. It's been a good ball game. Good matchup between these two Central Division clubs. Here's Jordan. Ehlo all over him. 7 on the shot clock. They've isolated Jordan against Ehlo. Illegal defense against Cleveland.
I didn't see that. I don't know who was illegal. I know Michael was isolated.
Looked like everybody was bunched together. That's the way I make the call.
It just looked illegal.
It looked wrong. Armstrong looking for Pippen against Nance. Williams with another rebound.
See, Scotty sort of short-armed that jump shot. He didn't have real good extension. As a result, he left that ball short.
Pippen only 2 out of 6 tonight. That'll belong to Cleveland with 15 seconds on the shot clock.
They love to get Mark Price open off the screen. Watch him coming off Daugherty here from a little jump shot.
There he is. Takes the 3.
That was an air pass.
Air ball. That was an air pass to Daugherty. Now Nance. Blocked by Purdue. 3-on-2. Jordan kicks it out to Armstrong. With a veteran-like play, Armstrong draws it out. And we'll look for the good shot as they set up the half court.
You got Will Purdue against Mark Price right now. If they'll throw the ball into post.
Armstrong just decided he was going to shoot. That was a near certain 2 if they could have gotten into the 7-footer Purdue. Cleveland wanted to get a foul against Jordan. It didn't come. Purdue with another rebound.
Now watch Michael get to the line here. They're going to really get mad.
He got into the paint, gets the 2, and here come the boos. Michael with 31 points, 2 shy of his league-leading 33, and we're a minute 12 away from the end of the first half.
I like his chances to get the 44. Smart play, Mark Price, realizing crowd into the ball game, upset about the officiating. Throw yourself in there, get to the free throw line. That's a veteran play.
Armstrong has 3 personals now. Price has 15 points.
Oh, Michael has 60% of the Bulls' points right now.
Chicago gets a timeout with 1:05 to go in the first half. The Bulls up by 3. Price will get one more free throw when we return to Richfield Coliseum. But first, these boos for the officials. They're not happy here at Cleveland.
Here's a shot by Mark Price, air ball. Daugherty goes up with it. Does not get it. Larry Nance with a great follow-up here on the slam cam. You're going to see it. And Will Perdue with a nice block. Beautiful play there by Will Perdue to block the shot by Larry Nance.
We'll have to get a tape of that and send it to Will.
Well, that's a shot last year that Larry Nance would have dunked. And this year with his leg, he does not have the explosion. And as a result, he got the shot blocked. Normally, you either get to the free throw line or get 2 points.
Cleveland committing 12 turnovers this half, but still hanging in here, trailing only by 3. Mark going to Price going to the line when we come back for another free throw.
I think when you see that stat, the one thing you're seeing is Cleveland is turning the ball over, but the Bulls have not really been able to get out and convert off of it. I think they did get to the free throw line after some half-court pressure, or excuse me, some full-court pressure. But Cleveland is very fortunate right now to be within 3 points because Chicago had a lot of opportunities, and Michael Jordan has just been sensational.
31 points for Michael Jordan. He is 11 of 15 from the floor, 8 out of 8 from the line. Not only that, he has 7 rebounds. A doubleheader Friday. The New York Knicks, who are getting clobbered tonight by New Jersey, struggling mightily, will have to go into Chicago Stadium. Ewing is scoring big these days. And then that's the first game of our doubleheader. And I'll be out on the West Coast with John McLeod for a big Pacific Division matchup between Portland and L.A. Portland had a 133-111 win over the Lakers on Tuesday night. Magic Johnson sprained his ankle. He is day-to-day. I'll make a phone call to Jerry West and Pat Riley, make sure he plays in our ball game.
Well, I'll be in Denver Friday night, Bob, so I'll be watching you. I'll be glued to the tube watching you on TNT.
John McLeod will be playing the role of Doug Collins for that game. It's a tough job.
I hope that I don't become Wally Pipp.
That's right. One game, and Lou Gehrig, John McLeod will be there.
That's right. I will talk to John.
You're Wally for the rest of the ball game. Price misses a free throw. That can be a headline in tomorrow's paper. Chicago by 3, minute to go, first half.
Ooh, BJ stepped on the line there. They didn't see it.
Sure did. Could have been an over and back. Stolen by Brad Daugherty, who stepped out. Price takes it hard to the hole. Lost control. It'll be Chicago ball. Price can't stand the call from Dick Bavetta.
Scottie Pippen knocked that ball away from behind. Great play by the long arms of Scottie Pippen.
Michael Jordan draws the double team. Way over to Pippen. Takes it inside against Williams. Rebound Daugherty.
Good job of smothering the outlet pass that time by Will Perdue. Forced Mark Price to come back down the floor to get the ball.
Inside to Nance against Pippen. Jump hook. It's a 1-point Chicago lead with 21 seconds to go in the half.
Well, the Bulls here in this situation, they like to get the last shot. They like to run Michael Jordan off a high screen roll, probably by Will Perdue. Let's see if Cleveland tries to run and double team him. So they're going to take the ball out of his hands. Smart play. Do not let Michael make the play.
3.5 seconds. They're going to let B.J. Armstrong take the jumper. The rookie sticks it. That's the end of the first half of play with the Bulls leading it 53-50. It's been a good one from Richfield. Lenny Wilkins is going to have to go to the chalkboard, as will Phil Jackson. We'll be back here at the Coliseum in just a few moments. Thank you, Craig Sager. The Chicago Bulls with a 3-point lead here at the Richfield Coliseum. And by the way, Cotton Fitzsimmons setting a new standard for coaching dressing. We're going to have to get you some denim here instead of your brand new, very hot tie, by the way. Almost a tie ball game. The Bulls pulled out by 3 right at the end of the first half. Michael Jordan has been all over everybody. I mean, Michael with 31 points, only 2 below his average in the first half.
Well, we talked about the ways he's hurt this ball club, but when he gets to the line 9 times, he has 7 rebounds, he has 31 points. The Bulls shot 44% from the floor. Michael's shooting 11 for 15, so he's carried them in the first half. Michael has been sensational. I do believe, though, for them to win the basketball game, some of these other guys are going to have to step forward. Second chance points, you see Chicago 7-0, so they're +7 in that statistic. Now we talked about points off turnovers, 11-0, so they're +18 in second chances and points off turnovers. When you look at Cleveland, Bob, Brad Daugherty only got 3 shots at the basket, had no field goals. They've got to get the ball inside to him. We talked about Ehlo getting shots. He had 13 shots in the first half because of the double teams. And we see the balance there with the Bulls. Michael with 31, 5, and Charles Davis actually had his hand in 8 points. He had 5 points, and then he got an offensive rebound, kicked it out to Michael Jordan. So I thought he made a big contribution when Scottie Pippen went out.
Mark Price is leading the way in scoring for Cleveland. Mark Price has 16 at the half, Ehlo 11, and Hot Rod Williams came off the bench for 10 points. But inside, Nance only 4, Bennett only 2, Daugherty, as you pointed out, 0 for 3, not one single field goal. And as you mentioned, Cleveland will have to try to pound it inside in order to beat Chicago.
I think that what you're going to see right here is the first possession is going to go inside to Brad Daugherty. He's going to have to get, Lenny Wilkins likes to do it right out of a timeout or right out of a set situation to get him going.
Price goes for 3 and gets it. And it's tied at 53, and Mark Price has 19 points. He's having himself a whale of a ball game here tonight. Defensing John Paxson now has 3 personals. Cartwright has it blocked by Nance. Cleveland can take the lead. Price kicks it to the follow man, who's Daugherty, misses the finger roll.
Here's where Chicago's at their best, right here in the open floor. Paxson gets a lot of open shots in this kind of situation.
Into Cartwright. Paxson all alone out here, but Cartwright takes it from 6 feet.
Well, it wasn't pretty, but he got it in. Bill that time with a bump against Nance, got his distance, and turned around and stuck his shot.
No offense to Bill here, but nothing he does offensively is very pretty.
No, Bill works hard to get his shots.
Chicago by 2. Mark Price curling off the screen, kicking it to Daugherty to Nance over Grant.
Boy, Larry Nance shooting a lot of jump shots.
This will be good. Just a routine dunk.
Yeah.
I give him I'm like the judges at the
We're
slam
good critics
dunk.
here, aren't we?
Yeah, give me the free throw line 360 turnaround tongue on both sides of the mouth jam before I give him a high score. Jordan, by the way, with 33. Incidentally, foul away from the ball.
It's going to be on Bill Cartwright. Mark Price trying to set a screen to free Brad Daugherty to the post, and Cartwright just popped him to take the foul. That's his 3rd foul.
Probably didn't see him.
Here's Michael outrunning everybody with the basketball. You see his speed and his power as he takes the ball to the basket.
Chicago up by 4. Price kicks it to Ehlo. This is a 2-point attempt. Ehlo continues struggling from the perimeter.
It's 5 for 14 now.
Jordan with 9 rebounds and 35 points. Remember, we told you early in this game that Jordan is averaging 44 a game against Cleveland this year, had 54 in the opener, and a good chance to go beyond that. At the end of the first quarter, we had him on track for 64 in this game. Let's see if he does it. Daugherty still without his first field goal of the ball game, but Brad will go to the free throw line. The foul's on John Paxson, who picked up his 4th.
See, that's what he's got to do. Brad Daugherty's got to bang himself in there, and he's got to get to the free throw line. He must put the pressure on the interior defense of the Chicago Bulls. And Bob, we talked about keys to winning for Cleveland. I felt they must go at Cartwright and Horace Grant. Larry Nance, 4 points. Brad Daugherty, 3, no field goals. So if they're going to allow Horace Grant and Bill Cartwright to stay in the game, they're going to have problems.
Look at the difference here after 68 games of 88-89 and 89-90. A difference of 17 games with, a difference with Daugherty coming back into the lineup.
Their scoring is down about 8 points a game. Their field goal percentage down about 4 from 50 to 46 because they don't get easy baskets. They have to work hard in the half court for everything they get.
9:40 to go, 3rd quarter. Pippen kicks it to Grant. It was good defense by Ehlo on Pippen there, but Grant had spotted up outside.
Cleveland has got to be very careful right now that they don't let Chicago get a double-figure lead on them.
Good pass inside. Daugherty still without a field goal. Loose ball corralled by Williams.
You know, it looks like Brad Daugherty's trying to release his shot so quickly that he's not getting a good look at the basket.
Price draws the foul from Paxson, and that's number 5 on John Paxson. And remember, for Chicago, there's a technical against Paxson, and Chicago does not have Craig Hodges, the other number 2 guard, who's out with an injury. They're down to just B.J. Armstrong and Paxson, basically.
Well, you know, John Paxson, always gets very frustrated. You know, I've been over there with John playing against the Mark Price, and he feels like Mark Price dribbles at him and jumps into him, and it's very frustrating.
He does.
And you're going to see it. Mark Price here is dribbling. John is retreating.
There's the jump.
And there he jumps right into him, and that's where the foul is called, and it upsets John, and John responds and gets a technical.
Not a jury in America would convict John of that foul, unfortunately. The juries don't have anything to say about it, and Price knocks down one of the two, and he'll get another one. The first one he hit was the technical, and Phil Jackson not exactly in a great mood at the moment either.
If that's 5 on Paxson, he's really taking a chance here, leaving John Paxson in the ballgame with 5 fouls.
Well, let's double check officially. I've got
know if
Paxson with 5 personal fouls. That's correct. He's got 5. And by the way, Paxson has donut 0 points. Jordan on the pass and the bounce. Jordan was cutting to his left, turned around, hit a fadeaway shot moving laterally. That's not in anybody's textbook, best I recall. Price splitting the defenders, draws another foul.
See, he's so difficult to play because he's so quick. You try to trap him, Bob, and he splits you, and he gets his leg in there, and then he spreads himself out. And right now we see 14 fouls on the Chicago Bulls, none on Cleveland. So although Chicago has a 7-point lead, if Cleveland will continue to drive to the basket, maybe they can get back in this ball game at the free throw line.
Paxson goes to the bench, and B.J. Armstrong comes in to chase Mark Price now. Price, by the way, has 21 points. Nice pass inside to Williams, blocked by Grant. Ehlo, this is off the glass.
That's an offensive foul there you got away with.
Bennett puts it back up, misses it, draws the foul. It's on Pippen. And he has 3. So, Pippen with 3, Cartwright with 3, Paxson with 5, Armstrong with 3, and Chicago's staring at some serious foul difficulties with 8:33 to go, third quarter.
The problem is Michael Jordan only has 1. That's the guy you want to have about 7 fouls where he can go sit down. Right now he's in one of those games where you can see that every shot he takes he thinks is going in the basket.
He's right.
He's close, right? What is he, 13 for 17 from the floor?
Exactly. Bennett with 4 points now. 8:30 to go, third quarter. 63-58, Bulls by 5. Cleveland battling for that 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Jordan penetrating, splits 3 guys, gives it to Horace Grant for the jam.
You think Lenny Wilkins has seen enough of Michael Jordan for the night? I mean, he's saying, I've got another 20 minutes, I've got to watch this guy.
Jordan has 9 rebounds. He'll get at least a few more of those. He'll probably work on his assists now and come up with a triple-double. Bennett looked like he traveled.
Good call. Good call, Bob.
I have my striped shirt on tonight. 14 Cleveland turnovers. Armstrong, Grant. Michael Jordan, Cartwright, and Pippen on the floor for Chicago. Pippen trying to get it inside to no avail. The turnover for Chicago, and Hot Rod Williams brings it up to Bennett. Has a path to the hoop, goes to the left hand. Nice move, bad shot. Now here's Jordan against Williams. Williams fouls Michael hard, but catches the franchise.
They're going to call
smart move by John Williams.
But they're going to call a breakaway foul on this. They're going to call contact in the back, and Lenny Wilkins is going to be upset with this. You know, Bob, I want to tell you something about the breakaway foul. The breakaway foul is not determined by the severity of the contact. That's not the intent of the rule. If you make contact in the back from behind, if your body is not in front of the guy and you're not playing the ball and you have contact in the back, it's a breakaway. As Hot Rod Williams got in front of him, I think that's a good call because John Williams was behind Michael Jordan, and this could be a 4-point play.
And the reason you see him at the line, it's not a technical. He goes to the line for the free throw. Then he gets the other free throw. Then the Bulls also get possession of the basketball.
So it could be a 4-point play here.
Exactly.
See, they put this rule in because the guy's being pushed in the back and all on fouls in a breakaway situation because they felt like guys were getting driven into the stanchion and getting hurt.
During your days as a player, it happened a lot. You saw some really severe fouls undercutting on breakaways.
Cleveland right now has got to stop him defensively, and Michael Jordan feels it, and it's going to be awfully tough to slow him down right now. Boom.
Oh, my. Michael Jordan has 41 points And the Bulls have an 11-point lead, and the Cavaliers have a timeout, and Lenny Wilkens is out here in the face of Bavetta. There's the technical foul.
He's going to get thrown.
He's going to get ejected. There's two. He's out of here. Lenny Wilkens is gone. He's still at Bavetta. Saw Lenny Wilkens go, "Aw, shucks."
Yeah.
That'll get you tossed. It's one of the words you can't say.
You know, Lenny Wilkens, one of the most mild-mannered coaches in the league. You see Dick Bavetta, and Lenny Wilkens felt like that there was a couple bad calls he didn't like.
Early in this game, Cleveland had a big disparity in fouls being called against Chicago. In the second quarter, that evened up in favor of Chicago. The crowd got into it. Cleveland got into it. Wilkens is now ejected. You can believe that these 20,000 fans at Richfield Coliseum will be all over this gentleman the rest of this game.
Well, what they got to do right now is Cleveland's got to regroup here. The fans are in the ball game. They've got to take this energy and they've got to use it in a positive way.
Michael Jordan has 41 points, and the Bulls lead it by 11 with 7:25 remaining in the third quarter.
NBA Extra on TNT. The Chicago Bulls versus the Cleveland Cavaliers is brought to you by Jeep and Eagle, the official vehicles of the NBA. And by Wendy's, the best hamburgers in the business, and a whole lot more.
Jordan hit the first of the two technicals. There's the second. Jordan now has 43 points in the game. And folks, we are not happy campers here if we are Cleveland fans.
No, they feel like the officials now have allowed Michael to get away with a couple pushes, going to the basket, a breakaway foul. That was a 6-point play that Michael Jordan just converted for Chicago to double this lead.
Dick Helm steps in for Price, draws another foul. Dick Helm steps in for Lenny Wilkens, who's been ejected, and there are jeers for the call that time against Armstrong as Price goes to the line again.
Now, see, if I'm coach, if I'm Dick Helm in that timeout, I tell Mark Price and I tell my team, under no circumstances do you shoot a jump shot this time down the floor. You drive the ball to the basket, and we will get to the free throw line. And that's what Mark Price did, and he steps up and converts. But coming out of that timeout, no jump shots. In fact, the next few times down the floor, I want my guys going to the basket.
Price knocks them both down. It's an 11-point Chicago lead with 7:12 to go in the third quarter. Price, Ehlo, Williams, Bennett, and Daugherty on the floor for the Cavaliers. Cartwright, Jordan, Grant, Pippen, and Armstrong for Chicago.
Still a lot of time, Bob. 19 minutes left in this ballgame. Look at that pass.
Blocked by Hot Rod Williams. Great pass from Jordan. Great block from Williams.
Don't shoot a jump shot. Take it to the hoop.
Here's Daugherty against Grant, taking it to the hoop. Misses the shot, doesn't get a call. Crowd gets excited again. Daugherty is 0 for 5. Armstrong open from the baseline. He nails it. B.J. Armstrong.
Great pass there by Michael Jordan, penetrating. The whole defense collapses. B.J. wide open on the baseline.
Well, Cleveland did exactly what Dick Helm told them to do, what you would say to do. They took it inside. Daugherty just can't buy it tonight. Can't throw it in the ocean. 0 for 5. Backcourt pressure, but B.J. Armstrong now gets it in the open court to Grant against the lone defender, Hot Rod Williams. And Chicago has suddenly built a 15-point lead. It was 53-50 at halftime.
Well, Chicago's playing great basketball right now. If they win tonight, they'll even their road record at 18-18.
Ehlo gets the hoop and the three-point opportunity after Mark Price misses from long range. Until then, Chicago had been on a 22-10 run. Chucky Brown into the ball game for Cleveland.
I think the fans were cheering there because they called the foul on Michael Jordan.
Clifford Lett checks in here for Chicago. Clifford Lett is a rookie from the University of Florida and was named Rookie of the Year in the NBA. Chicago signed Lett to a 10-day contract after the injury to Craig Hodges. They list him at 6'3". Some people said 6'4". He looks more like about 6'1" to me.
He's going to have to be careful. Looks like his shorts are about ready to fall off.
He has on Craig Hodges shorts. And Craig is as big as they said Lett was. Somebody needed to scout his size.
Well,
here's Let from long range,
Check
and
this out.
he drains a two-pointer just inside three-point range. He's leading scorer in the CBA for Pensacola. Ehlo welcomes him to the league, and they call the foul on Let. Dick Bavetta offers a second welcome to the NBA.
Man, oh man, that was a vicious pick.
Hello, I'd like to welcome you to
pick.
Cleveland.
Now,
Hello.
you know what? I don't know who's guarding Ehlo there. I can't see it. I think it's probably Scottie Pippen, but he's got to be yelling out. Watch the screen. If Scottie Pippen is, or excuse me, if Ehlo is a big guy, Let might be in the hospital right now.
And then Ehlo gets to go to the free throw line. Pippen is just laughing. I have a feeling, however, Let won't be laughing with Scottie, but mercy.
You know, Chicago's got to be very careful right now. They've made a great run and everything. They're in lead. They're in command of this basketball game. There's still a lot of time to be played. Cleveland's at home. They can get back into this ball game if they'll just be patient.
That was Let to Bavetta to Jordan. Long rebound to Pippen, stolen by Price.
Watch Michael Jordan here. Watch Jordan.
And beautifully, Price saw Jordan as you did and dished it to Ehlo. Because Jordan would have stuffed it.
Oh, he was coming. He had that tongue wagging.
Chicago by 11. Crowd's into this ball game. They're emotionally connected. Jordan kicks it out to Grant from 18. Michael Jordan's doing it all at the moment.
Well, you know what? All you have to do is spot up and just say, Michael, when you get triple team, throw me the ball and I'll shoot a jump shot.
Let defensing Price. Price draws the foul from Let this time. Doesn't get the three-point opportunity.
If we're not careful, it's going to turn into a foul fest.
Let's have a look at the Wendy's NBA scoreboard. Got some shockers for you tonight in terms of the scoring disparity. Philly knocks off Boston at Philadelphia as Philly continues to lead in the Atlantic Division. And the New York-New Jersey game is closer. With New Jersey, it ain't over till it's over. That is for sure, but the Knicks are struggling. We'll have some more scores for you also here. We watch Mark's free throws.
Detroit was all over Charlotte.
98-83 by 15. Orlando leading Miami by 3.
Rocking down there in Orlando.
Look at this one. Washington way out in front of Denver. And Sacramento beating Cleveland, losing 2 games tonight. Boy, that's a bad time. I didn't realize Cleveland was playing Sacramento too. No wonder they're struggling. Split squad, spring training. This is Cleveland A, Cleveland B, losing to Sacramento. We'll straighten that out for you. Show you the real story in a moment.
I think Sacramento's playing Minnesota's who they're playing, and it was tied 46 all at half.
We've got a timeout on the floor. 79-68. Chicago leading with 4:15 to go in the third. Mel Proctor and Randy Gordon will bring you live amateur boxing featuring the U.S. and Canada as the U.S. team warms up for the upcoming Goodwill Games Saturday night at 10:30 on our sister station, TBS, on U.S. Olympic Gold, a TBS Sports exclusive. Here in Richfield, Ohio, it's Chicago by 11. $15 on the shot clock for Chicago.
You got to watch Michael Jordan. He loves to take a lob on this play.
Shot clock to 10. Jordan has 43 in this game. Kicks it to Cartwright. Fakes Ehlo. Takes the 15-footer. Rebound Williams. Price running has Ehlo way out in front. And the layup, and it's a 9-point Chicago lead, and Ehlo has 19 to go with Mark Price 25, and it's been all backcourt for Cleveland, and that's some of their problem.
See, one of the things that's going to have to happen now, some of the other Bulls are going to have to get involved offensively. Michael's carried him now with 43 points. Some of the other guys are going to have to start looking to score.
Williams with a steal. It's 4 on 3. Price to Ehlo. Drives into Jordan. Offensive foul. Listen to the crowd.
That was a bad call. That was a bad call there. Michael Jordan was not set. Ehlo was going in. Michael exceptionally quick, but the Bulls dodged the bullet there.
Yeah, Ehlo should have been at the free throw line, no question about it. Bulls by 9, 3:25 to go third quarter. Into Jordan. Over Price. Jordan has 45 points in this game.
Michael's going to go for 60 tonight, Bob. Michael will mark it down.
Price going for 3. Mark Price, having himself a whale of a game, has 25 already, but it's vastly overshadowed by Michael's shot at 60.
You got Mark Price against Michael Jordan. They can take him right in the post.
That's what they've done. Price went for the steal. Jordan burned him. 47 for Michael Jordan. He's got a chance at 50 in the third quarter. And remember, Jordan has 18 50-plus games in his career. Wilt Chamberlain had 118. Put that in perspective. Steal by Pippen. Williams never saw him coming. Now Price has got him double-teamed along with Williams. They say there was a timeout called at 20. Let's have a look at Jordan on that. 22nd Chicago timeout.
Well, see, Michael recognizes Price on him in the post, so he just backs him down. Mark Price tries to circle to get the steal. Scottie Pippen with a nice pass, and Michael with a wide-open shot. When you're shooting the ball the way Michael is, that is like a dunk.
Michael had 54 against Chicago against Cleveland in the first game this year.
And that was in overtime. Michael's averaging 32 shots a game, as we talked about on the opening of the game.
At halftime,
I think he had 15. He was right. 11
Jordan had 15, exactly. Let's see how many shots Michael Jordan has in this game. He has taken 23, 17 out of 23.
It's not too bad, is it?
I just had to remember that. I have it filed in my mind.
See, they ought to have pressured him up there. They could have got a backcourt violation there with the shot clock.
Pippen against Hot Rod Williams. Jordan, 49.
Oh, man.
You know, coaching him, you had to sometimes almost fight your concentration watching this kind of performance.
Well,
Did you ever?
Oh, yeah, he mesmerizes you out there. You start thinking when someone else takes a shot, no, get it to Michael. It's amazing.
Price tripped and grabbed B.J. Armstrong to keep him from getting the fast break going. Lost his shoe.
You know, you're
going that way for Cleveland tonight.
Bob, you're seeing tremendous frustration right now in Cleveland's part because they get it to 9. They have a chance to shoot 2 foul shots. Ehlo's called with the offensive foul. Then Bulls run off 6 straight by Michael Jordan. Now it's a 15-point game again. They could have got it to 7.
Here's what happened to Price. Price was just bounced around. Of course, he's used to this. That's little Mark Price trying to get through that forest.
Well, he actually tripped over his own man's foot, and as a result, he was able to stumble there, and B.J. Armstrong picked up the loose ball.
That was Mark's first personal in the ball game. It's the Bulls by 15, minute 47 to go, third quarter. Stay with us, though. You're watching history by Michael Jordan. He could break 60 tonight. Has 49. About to go for 2 more. 3 on the shot clock over Ehlo.
Look who it ends up with, though, Michael. How does he get the ball?
Stacey King just tipped it back out to 23. It's like a rec league team where they've got the ringer.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not exactly like a rec league team. Jordan will go to the free throw line. Chucky Brown getting that time. Everybody's had their chance at trying to hammer at Jordan.
I tell you, we were sitting at lunch today. If you remember correctly, there's a big article on Cleveland today, and Michael talking about how much respect he has for Craig Ehlo as a defender. And we knew that Michael was going to come out tonight. When we were talking about it at lunch today, that look out because Michael loves these kind of challenges.
I just happen to have that with me, being the journalism person here. I bring
headlines what? Mission Impossible.
Ehlo to try to ground Air Jordan. Yeah, well, the fog lifted, and Air Jordan has 51. Michael says, Craig Ehlo, this is the quote from the newspaper article, Craig Ehlo is a very good defender, and I accept it as a challenge. Mission Impossible. Well, their headline was right. Craig Ehlo is a very good defender.
Yes, he is. But you know, one difference in the team this year, too, is with Harper. When Ron Harper was playing, you could put Harper on him. Now, Michael also had to concentrate defensively against Harper. He had to, because Harper would attack him off the dribble. Now you take Harper out of the game, you bring in Ehlo. A little bit different look out on the floor. So as a result, you had 2 different guys you could throw at him. With the team they have this year, other than Ehlo, they really have no one else they can put on Michael. Price is too small.
They tried Bennett at the beginning of the game, and he burned him badly.
Well, Price is too small. Morton is a rookie. and no one else out there has enough size or quickness or strength to even play against him. And Michael right now is just doing whatever he wants to do.
Will Perdue in the game for Chicago, along with Davis, 2 Vanderbilt players on the floor. Pippen against Williams with 7 on the shot clock. Drove the baseline. Nice move by Pippen. Lightning quickness.
That was a great move there by Scottie Pippen.
Didn't look like he had room on the baseline. Obviously, he did.
I'd say the Bulls are playing excellent basketball right now. This will be their 7th straight road win, and they are playing tremendous basketball.
Cleveland had 53 at the half. They've scored, had 50. Cleveland has scored 23 points. 36 points have been scored by Chicago to build this lead. Pippen from long range. He won't hit that very often.
If they can get a score here, you know, it's still a ball game. I'm not trying to excite everybody, but there's still plenty of time left in the game. A 14-point lead is nothing.
There's the mismatch.
You see, Daugherty didn't even take advantage of it.
Ehlo going for 3 and getting it. That's a 13-point lead now with 7 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Pippen, offensive foul with 3.3 seconds remaining. And Pippen now has 4 personal fouls.
See, now this is how quickly things change. If the Bulls can stick a score, it's all of a sudden an 11-point ball game.
If Cleveland, you mean.
Excuse me, yes, if Cleveland can score and maybe get to the foul line.
They should have a chance with 3.3 if they've been watching the NCAA tournament. That's an hour. Morton on the drive. Gets the bucket. It'll count. You got that right, Doug Collins. Dick Helm, who's replacing the ejected Lenny Wilkins, has his team now trailing by 11. Hey, if you think Michael Jordan can shoot, where do you see these guys? The Dirty Dozen. And when they shoot, you drop. Lee Marvin and the Dirty Dozen. It's next following the game right here on TNT. I love that. I'm glad I have my writers with me.
You know, Bob, when you look now at the end of that quarter, Michael Jordan set down. The Bulls had a 17-point lead. In a quick period of time, it's down to 11. You know, how long will Phil Jackson leave Michael out? Michael's very hot right now. He's on a roll. They don't play again until Friday night at home, so it'll be interesting to see how long Phil decides to rest Michael.
Michael Jordan, by the way, has set a new Richfield Coliseum scoring record. Bob McAdoo held the old record of 50 points. Michael has 51, and yes, that's right, we have 12 minutes of basketball remaining and a couple more Chicago turnovers, and Michael will be back in here loading it up. We don't want him to sit too long. I've sent a message over there. We're looking for 60 here tonight.
Well, all he has to do is play 2 minutes and get 9 points the way he's going tonight.
Bulls by 11. This game is still within reach for the Cavaliers. We got a foul down here. It's going to go against Chicago. Was it Will Perdue?
You know, Brad Daugherty still does not have a field goal in this game.
Yes, Will Perdue.
He's averaging over the last 6 or 7 ball games about 18 points, and Brad Daugherty's got his points at the line, but he has not gotten to the basket tonight at all. Shots he has gotten, he's jerked around the basket and really hadn't had good concentration.
And yes, Michael Jordan has re-entered the game. How long was he out? 20 seconds. Oh, he's rested. 20 seconds. Oh, plus the timeout. Paxson with 5 fouls back in there defending John Morton right now. They want to get it to Daugherty, but Daugherty drew the double team before the ball even came in. 10 on the shot clock.
See, this is where Cleveland struggles in the half court.
John Williams had to go to his left, doesn't get the bounce.
Charles Davis said, look, Bill, you get more playing time. That's my rebound.
give me one stat. Paxson from the perimeter. Hits it here. He struggled in the first half with his shooting. John Paxson gets his first points of this ball game.
He had a big fourth quarter in Atlanta the other night. Bulls were trailing by 5. Pax came in, had 11 of his 15 points in the fourth quarter to help the Bulls win on the road at Atlanta.
Morton against Paxson. Take him to the hoop, see if they can get another foul from him. No. Good pass from Morton. No look into Daugherty, who gets his first field goal of this ball game.
Well, Brad Daugherty had a tent in the lane that time. I think they were so intent on watching John Morton that Brad Daugherty was just planted right in the middle of the lane.
Brad Daugherty flea market. 91-80, Chicago by 11. Inside to Stacey King. It was blocked by Williams, and then he took the loose ball. Tough play by Williams. Ehlo goes to the floor. He's all right. Pass down to Chucky Brown.
See, Brad Daugherty's got to want the ball right now against Bill Cartwright. You got to get him the ball, and he's got to make something happen. This is where your big man really comes into effect. The fourth quarter of an important game.
They've posted Williams, who goes to the right. The jump hook goes in for John Williams. Cleveland is battling back in here. They're down by 9. Williams has 15.
I guarantee the Chicago coaches said flood his left shoulder, make him go back to his left. But players forget during the course of a game. Stacey King is a rookie. He's got to learn what John Williams likes to do.
This is a Cleveland on a roll right here, battling back in. Chicago had led by 15. 4 on the shot clock. Paxson's got trouble. They get it to Jordan. He goes for the 3. He gets the 3. Oh, my. Michael Jordan has 54 points. That matches the 54 that he got against Cleveland in the opening game in overtime this year. Jordan 6 away from 60.
See, the toughest thing about that, though, is the shot clock was winding down. They played great defense.
Daugherty gets the roll. He's had 2 field goals, and he's taking it inside.
He's got to, Bob.
Chicago by 10. 9 minutes remaining in this ball game. Bennett and Nance set to get back in here for Cleveland. Paxson. This is from long range. Brad Daugherty. Diving attempt. Can't save it. Price, Nance, Bennett back into the lineup. Ehlo, Morton, and Brown will sit down for Cleveland.
Right now, Cleveland has got to get some stops. And you say, how are they going to stop him with Michael Jordan playing the way he is? They have Winston Bennett on him right now. Michael can take the ball past him on the drive.
Or pull up and hit the 18-footer. He misses it. Unbelievable. Daugherty playing much bigger at the moment. Daugherty was invisible inside earlier in this game, but he's got a couple of big rebounds and a couple of baskets here lately.
They want to go to John Williams down on the block against Stacey King.
Turn around, right-handed goes down for John Williams. It's an 8-point Chicago lead. Cavaliers battling back in.
I'll tell you one thing the Bulls have to be careful about, that they are too not mesmerized by Michael Jordan and expect him to make every shot. That's what he's done tonight. And at some point, he's going to miss a couple.
Turnover, Chicago. It'll belong to Cleveland. That's 13 Chicago turnovers. Remember, against this Cleveland team, Chicago averaged only 10 turnovers a game. You said it could be a key, particularly late.
Well, it has to be, because with a team like Chicago, Chicago's a team that forces turnovers. You got to make them turn the ball over a few times, not get shots every time down the floor.
We've got a foul against Bill Cartwright trying to box Brad Daugherty out of it.
That was big. 2 big old sumo wrestlers in the lane, Bob. They were locked up with each other. Check this out.
That's slow dancing.
Well, it's not romantic. You might slow dance like that.
Lambada.
Really?
Whatever that thing is. 8 minutes to go in this. I'm staying away from it. Here's Daugherty against Cartwright again. Gets him in the air. Misses the follow, but there is Nance for the basket. And it's a 6-point Chicago lead. Larry Nance has his first 2 of this half, only 6 in the game. And the crowd is back in it with 7:40 remaining.
As if they try to go to Michael Jordan in the post.
Here goes Jordan down to the post. Now he has to spot back out. 7 on the shot clock. He's going for 3. A little too flat. His arm may be getting tired. Rebound, John Williams. We've got a foul against Chicago. Dick Helm filling in for the ejected Lenny Wilkins. That foul is against Cartwright, and that'll be 5 from Richfield Coliseum. We've got an emotional game on our hands here. Bob Neal, Doug Collins with you. We have 7:22 to go. The Bulls have called timeout. 94-88, the Bulls. Richfield Coliseum, the Cavaliers have won 8 in a row, trying to come from behind to make it 9 in a row, and it's time for the Minute Maid Minute.
Well, you see Michael Jordan, 54 points, 10 rebounds. Brad Daugherty, Larry Nance, only 5 for 18, 14 points, but Brad Daugherty starting to come alive. You see the disparity in the field goal shooting, 68-39. Orders from Dick Helm, if you're the coach, pound the ball inside. Go at Bill Cartwright against Daugherty. Let's get him out of the ball game.
You got 3 guys inside who can score, Williams, Daugherty, and Nance. They're looking for Williams, draws the double team. Where's the open man? Daugherty has 10 on the shot clock, back to Price. Price has Cartwright way outside. Bennett takes it inside. Somebody got a hand on it, went in anyway. Looked like Stacey King tipped it, but it still went in. And now it is a 4-point Chicago lead, and the Cavs on a 12-5 run.
Now the Bulls cannot stand around and look for Michael Jordan. They've got to all stay active, Bob. They've got to make sure that when he penetrates, they're ready to shoot the basketball.
He penetrates, he has to dish it off. 2 on the shot clock, inside to King. It would have counted.
Oh, man.
Jordan gets the loose ball.
Boy, they got to grab that ball. That time of ball, they tipped it loose.
Michael has 12 rebounds to go with his 51 points. Cartwright. You could see Cartwright almost surprised by that pass. Once Jordan gets rid of it, Chicago is disorganized. Williams with the
Oh, he's going to call the offensive foul.
Listen to this crowd. They were going to call goaltending after it, but first, the offensive foul against Williams.
Boy, that's a big play right there, because that would have been Paxson's 6th foul. He would have been out of the ball game, and it would have been a bucket and a 3-point play opportunity. You're going to see it right here. I'm not sure John Paxson got there, and then Michael Jordan with the goaltending. This could be a 5-point play right here. And the fact that John Paxson did not foul out of the game. So mark that play down at the 6:10 mark of the 4th period.
With Chicago leading it by 4. Jordan trying to get loose from Winston Bennett, who just had a hold of his, I was going to say his hair, his shirt.
See, right now, Winston Bennett is trying to be physical with Michael Jordan. He's trying to wear him down as much as he can to take away a little bit from his game. Michael has been coming down and shooting the outside jump shot. Winston Bennett trying to keep him out of the middle. Over on the left of your screen, now out of the screen to the left, Winston Bennett just all over Jordan. There's Jordan, he got away from him from 17. Jordan has 53. Make that 56. 56 for Jordan. Nance down inside, draws the double team, gets the bucket anyway. Cleveland stays within 4 with 5:38. Cleveland, with a win tonight, would move ahead of Atlanta into the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Atlanta leads them by half. The Hawks are idle tonight. Well, these are the games you have to win, the home games. When you're in a playoff hunt, you've got to win at home.
Nance with a rebound. Cleveland can pull to within 2 or less. Price. Bennett's going to take it inside. Pippen stepped up. Nance from outside. Jordan with a big rebound. Looks like he may have gotten away with a little push on Bennett.
Yeah, I think he got his hands in his back, but wasn't enough contact to make that call.
13 rebounds for Michael Jordan. Chicago by 4. It's playoff intensity here in this game. Jordan has 58. The next 2-pointer by Jordan will give him 60.
Cleveland needs a timeout here.
We've got a timeout on the floor with 4:37 remaining in this ball game. Chicago leading 98-92. Let's have a look at Michael Jordan getting loose from Bennett.
Well, you're going to see what happens here. First, Scottie Pippen's going to give him a little bump, and he's going to come off. But the big thing is Brad Daugherty stays locked to Bill Cartwright. If we'll roll this, we'll take a look. He comes locked up, and you're going to see it right here as he keeps going, keep Michael Jordan going. Here's Brad Daugherty's got to show out here and prevent this pass. He's all the way back here. Winston Bennett doesn't have a chance. Brad Daugherty's got to give the man some help on that play.
It's a 6-point Chicago lead. 4:37 remaining in the game. Michael Jordan has 58 points. Karl Malone had 61. Utah, January 27th. Chambers had 60 for Phoenix last Saturday. In case you're wondering about the other 60-plus scores this year, there have been 2.
See what happened there right now. Michael Jordan has switched on to Mark Price, so Phil Jackson wants to keep Paxson in the game, so he's got Michael on Price to calm Price down. That puts Winston Bennett against Paxson. They'll try to go right to the post with Winston Bennett.
Price, by the way, has been silent in the fourth quarter after having 25 points and playing very big offensively earlier. Now they've got the switch to Nance, who's going to take it inside. Misses the hoop, but the foul. By the way, speaking of team fouls, Bulls have 4. Cavs only 1 with 4:12 to go in this ball game.
Well, the factor that is that you can take 2 fouls off the ball on Michael Jordan if you have to before he gets into the shooting position, before you're going to put them in the penalty. So Cleveland should be very aggressive defensively. But the one thing that they have not done here is they've not been able to get to that position when there's a loose ball to pick it up, to get themselves out and run with it. The Bulls have gotten most of the loose balls here in this game.
Jordan's 58. That's his season high.
You know, Craig Ehlo's been on the bench a lot here. It'll be interesting to see if he comes back late with him against Michael Jordan.
10 on the shot clock for Chicago. Pippen against John Williams. To Grant with 5 on the shot clock. Grant with the jumper. Big basket by Horace Grant, who's been quiet tonight. That's only 14 points for Horace Grant.
Well, that's the only other guy besides John Paxson who has 2 to score in this period beside Michael Jordan. So, as we talked about, other guys must get involved. There's an offensive foul on Winston Bennett against Paxson. So, Cleveland's going to shoot themselves in the foot here if they're not careful.
100 to 94, Chicago by 6, 3:36 to go in this ball game. It's right down to it, and Ehlo, the forgotten man, is back into the ball game. Dick Helm coaching for Lenny Wilkins, who was ejected in the third quarter. That's the fourth quarter scoring so far.
See, Cleveland has used up so much energy getting back in this ball game.
And that's a Chicago turnover and a good break for Cleveland with 3:24 to go. Chicago now has committed 16 turnovers in this ballgame. It's been one of the reasons Cleveland has hung around.
Paxson back on Mark Price. It's a matchup we want to watch.
To Nance, draws the double team. And the Cavs reverse it. They get Williams in the paint. Tips his own shot back up and in, and Hot Rod Williams has 19, and he's been big off the bench as he's been all year. The Bulls lead it by 4 with 3 to play. Cleveland looking for a stop here. Nance against Pippen. Ehlo trying to deny Jordan the ball. 6 on the shot clock. 4, 3. And we've got another Chicago turnover. It's a Cleveland ball.
See, Cleveland has upped the intensity of their defense. They've kept the ball away from Michael Jordan.
Quickly down to Nance, who hits Williams for the jam. It's a 2-point game at Richfield Coliseum.
Michael Jordan has got to get the ball in his hands right now and deliver.
Jordan looking for his 59th and 60th points. He's got them. 60 points for Jordan.
See, you got to get the ball in his hands late in the game because there's a block. Paxson's out of the ball game.
That's 6 on Paxson. Mark Price will go to the line. And that's the 15th foul against the Bulls. So they're in the penalty. Cleveland will be going to the line with 2:20 to go in the game. He's out with only 2 points and 6 fouls. And by the way, Michael Jordan has 60. He scored 63 versus Boston back in 1986, had 61 versus Detroit in 87, 61 versus Atlanta in 87, and now has 60 in this game.
Those were 2 well-coached games, those last 2 you talked about.
Nice job, Doug. I was going to say nice job on those. And Phil's done a great job of shooting for Michael here tonight. B.J. Armstrong in, Paxson out with the foul out.
See, after a big game like that, when you go into your press conference, you got to talk about the great plays you ran to get him open.
I noticed one way you said they got to get the ball in the hands of Michael. He just brought it up the court.
See what happens late in the ball game, Bob. You got a couple fouls. Cleveland still has 3 fouls to waste, but they've only got, going here to the last 2 minutes, they really only have 2. So you keep the ball out of Michael's hands and make these other guys try to beat you. Don't let him get the basketball.
Bulls by 2. B.J. Armstrong, the rookie, being hounded by Price. They get it to Jordan. Jordan defends by Ehlo. Wanted the lob to Grant.
Got to make him shoot a jumper.
Pippen with 10 on the clock. Into the paint, Pippen. Hot Rod Williams. Good defense. Rebound, Daugherty. Cleveland can tie. We're in the 2-minute period. Remember also, Cleveland's got a foul to give.
They also are a great three-point shooting team. Remember that.
Nance draws the triple team and the foul on Chicago. It's on Horace Grant. Nance to go to the line to tie this ball game. It's been a beauty.
You're going to see a triple team on Larry Nance here. Cartwright, Horace Grant, and here comes Michael Jordan with the slap. Larry Nance now has pulled him within one, and the Chicago Bulls here have gone stagnant offensively. They have just not been able to score in the fourth period.
Big miss by Nance. The Bulls lead it by 1. Minute 44 to go.
They got a foul. Ooh. They're making Michael work hard. They've got a foul to waste again. I keep telling you that. They've got a foul so they can really dog Michael.
Here's the double team. Ehlo and Price. He gets it to B.J. Armstrong. 4 on the shot clock. Armstrong misses. Big rebound by Michael Jordan.
You know, I mean,
Where wasn't he out on the perimeter?
he was out on the perimeter. He threw the ball to B.J. Armstrong. B.J. Armstrong double pumped on his shot. He did not shoot it in rhythm. That was not a confident shot. And then Jordan comes flying in for the rebound. This is just an unbelievable effort. Look at, here comes Michael Jordan. And a great rebound. Important here, this is not a shooting foul. Ball sideline out of bounds to Chicago.
Cleveland had the foul to give. Chicago leads it by 1. Has called timeout with 1:22 remaining. We've got a great doubleheader for you. The New York Knicks at Chicago in Game 1 on Friday night, 8 o'clock Eastern Time. Skip Carey and Rick Barry will have that game for you. And John McLeod will join me in L.A. for Portland and the Lakers as game number 2. But right now, minute 22 to go. Bulls by 1. Chicago with the ball.
Michael Jordan loves to go to the post here in this situation.
They have him posted against Ehlo over to the left of your screen.
Because he can also get to the free throw line down here.
There he is, trying to back cut on Ehlo. Ehlo all over him. Michael pops loose, finally out high, pulls up. Bad shot,
man.
Rebound, Grant! It is not going to fall, but he draws the foul.
Oh, man, they played great defense, Cleveland did, and no one blocked Horace Grant off the boards. That's a big follow-up right there by Horace Grant, and the ball laid on the rim, almost a three-point play opportunity.
Grant will now go to the free throw line.
Boy, you saw a great effort there by Craig Ehlo to try to keep the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands. He made him work so hard. And now Horace Grant, who can be a good free throw shooter, but also is very inconsistent, now at the line.
72% on the year, Grant. Not great. He gets the first one, big one. Here's Jordan working.
Look at Ehlo work. Look at him work. I mean, they work so hard, and then no one blocks out Horace Grant.
That was the end of the play. Ehlo had just been pounding him earlier.
See, still plenty of time, Bob. There's still 3 possessions left in this game. And it's a 3-point ball game, so Cleveland still got plenty of time. What they need to do is get a stop and score.
When we come back, I want your answer on how much Cleveland misses Lenny Wilkens right now, who's been ejected from this game. I ask you about how much Cleveland misses Lenny Wilkens, who was ejected earlier in this ballgame.
Well, they miss him a lot because he's a calming influence. Dick Helm is an outstanding coach, but the players have tremendous confidence in Lenny Wilkens. He's been with his ball club. He's nurtured them from a very poor team into a good team. Now, what they like to do out of this, and I was kidding Mark Price before the game, they love to run Mark Price off 4 screens. They like for him to enter the ball and come off 4 screens and look for a shot, many times a 3. So be aware of Mark Price coming off of 4 screens for a jump shot.
Speaking of Lenny Wilkens being out, Chicago led 9-58 since he was ejected. Cavs have outscored Chicago 43-35. But now they need him. And he's in the locker room biting his nails.
Watch Mark Price now. If they run this high pick where John Williams will back pick, they're going to go screen
roll. There it is. Price for 3. He doesn't get it. Rebound Nance. It's a big one.
They still got plenty of time. They really don't need a 3 right now. They still got plenty of time.
Daugherty sets the pick for Ehlo. Punched away by Jordan, but he's going to be called for the foul. With 49.8 seconds remaining in the game, and the Bulls leading it by 3. Cleveland knows they can move into the 8th and final playoff spot with a win tonight.
See, Craig Ehlo is not a good foul shooter. You would think that the way he shoots the ball from the outside, but he is not a good free throw shooter. I think he's in the 60%.
Craig Ehlo shoots 69%.
pulled a string on it. Didn't even look confident shooting that ball.
Gets this one. It is now a 2-point game.
See, they've missed 2 critical free throws. Nance missed one and Ehlo missed one, and we got a tie ball game, and that's what it comes down to here late.
The rookie gets the double team. Now Pippen draws the double team.
Well, they're going to have a violation.
He's in trouble.
They don't get it across.
It's a turnover. The double team pressure forced Pippen to throw it out of bounds. He had only 1 more second on the half-court violation. Cleveland gets a timeout, trailing by 2 with 38.9. And look at Jordan all over Cartwright. Jordan, the man who's doing the talking in the timeout, not Phil Jackson.
Well, here's what you got now in terms of time, okay, Bob? You got 38.9 seconds, all right? You would like to get this shot up in enough time where you trade 2 for 1. So look for them getting the ball in, maybe to Mark Price, having him come strong, and look for a quick shot. Maybe take it to the basket. They want to trade 2 for 1. So even if they don't score, if they stop Chicago, they've got a chance to come back and either tie or win the ball game. So timing and using the clock. If Mark Price is being played by B.J. Armstrong, look for him to try to take him off the dribble. Craig Ehlo spotting up for 3 points if Michael Jordan tries to help out.
Ehlo and Price, they've got Daugherty out high also. Time remaining in the game in the lower right of your screen. John Williams draws a triple team. Jordan with the steal nearly. Ehlo, bad shot. Jordan with the rebound, and the foul is on.
Boy,
Cleveland. It's on Ehlo.
Cleveland tried to run a set play that time to get the ball into John Williams. They ended up getting a tough shot by Ehlo on the baseline, and then Michael Jordan with a great rebound. But in that situation, I don't like the second guess, but I like Mark Price going against B.J. Armstrong.
Me too, clearly. Jordan at the line. He has 60, that's correct, 60 points in this game. His career high is 63 back in '86. He misses the free throw. A big miss with 22.9 left. It's a 2-point game.
Now see, even if Michael makes this shot, I don't like a 3-pointer at this time unless it comes out of the flow, because there's still plenty of time to foul.
It's a 3-point Chicago lead. Jordan has 61. That ties the most points scored in the NBA this year with Karl Malone, who scored 61 on January 27th. All right, Coach Collins, 22.9 remaining. Chicago by 3.
Well, I don't run a set play to get a specific 3-point shot. There's 22 seconds. I try to get the ball in. Again, I try to get it to Mark Price. Don't be surprised if Michael Jordan doesn't play Mark Price on this possession, okay? But I try to get something going to the basket. If the defense collapses and we pitch it and shoot a 3, that's one thing. Normally, in many times, teams will give you a quick basket to keep from fouling, or maybe you'll get something going to the basket. If you shoot a 3 and miss here, the game is over. So that's why at this amount of time, I don't like to do that.
And they do have Armstrong on Price. Inbounding will be John Williams.
Be aware of Scottie Pippen now trying to prevent Price from getting the ball coming inbounds. He'll double him up. Oh, no.
They lob to Nance. It's picked off by Grant.
Oh,
and fortunately for Cleveland, falls into the hands of Daugherty.
That was a horrible
time remaining in the game, 15 seconds. Price kicks to Ehlo. He goes for 3. And it's it! Cleveland by 1! Oh, my! Craig Ehlo with the triple!
That was penetration, Bob, what we talked about. Price penetrating.
And by the way, Chicago led by 3. That tied it, 105-105.
The penetration and the pitch. Michael Jordan came over to give help. He left Ehlo. At that point in time, you want to make him shoot it too. You don't want to give a man a 3-point shot. Watch here, we got the screen. Price off the screen. There comes Horace Grant. Michael Jordan is sucked in to give help, and there's Ehlo with the 3. Great play, and they were very fortunate because John Williams threw a horrible inbounds pass.
Oh yeah, watch this.
This is a dying quail right there. That is a horrible pass, and Larry Nance almost fouled Horace Grant, and the Cavaliers were very fortunate to get away with that.
Bounced off Ehlo into the hands of Daugherty. That was Ehlo's 3rd 3-pointer tonight, by the way, which tied it at 105, 11.3 remaining in this ball game. Now I ask you about, as the Chicago coach here, you got to get it to Jordan.
Yeah, well, you know,
right?
yes,
Or not?
yes, you're going to get the ball to Michael. What you got to decide here is when do you want to go? And if you're Cleveland, okay, I don't know the timeout situation here. Right? What is our timeout situation? Chicago has one and Cleveland has none. So the problem you have here with Cleveland, all right, if Chicago scores, you have no timeouts. You've got to go length to the floor. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see them double up and force B.J. Armstrong to take the shot, get the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands.
Could be a free throw line situation, too. How about fouling early, giving them only two and then having 10 seconds to come back?
You never foul a team to give them the lead, Bob. Never. You know, you don't give a team a chance to go ahead of you because you have no timeouts. You can't get the ball to half court.
I wouldn't have done that. I just wondered what you thought.
Right.
I would, of course, never have called it. All right, here we go. Time remaining in the lower right.
Well, they're going to double up Michael Jordan here.
It's tied. Jordan's going for three. He does not get it. We're in overtime at Richfield Coliseum. Jordan ends regulation with 61 points. There's almost no doubt that Jordan is going to break his career high of 63 in this overtime period. Cleveland looking for the win, which would move them into the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference.
Bob, what you're going to see here, you see Bill Cartwright into play over here, and you see Michael Jordan. John Williams is not even worried about Bill Cartwright. His job is with Winston Bennett to double up Michael Jordan and chase him off the shot. They're not even worried about Bill Cartwright, and you're going to see John Williams does a tremendous job, he and Winston Bennett.
As the time runs down, Jordan has nowhere to go. Nobody to pass it to for a good shot. None of the Bulls are inside. Jordan misses at the buzzer. It's overtime, tied at 105. It has been a beautiful game. Chicago led by as many as 15. Cleveland battled back. Wilkins has been ejected. Dick Helm has replaced him. Jordan has 61 points. What a ball game.
This would be a very emotional victory for Cleveland, and especially one that they need so desperately right now. Michael Jordan has been absolutely sensational. The other guys have gotten out of the rhythm of the offense. Michael Jordan in the fourth quarter scored all but 6 of the points, and as a result, the rest of the guys then weren't into the flow. Michael has been sensational. And remember, someone has to step up.
Remember, John Stockton fouled out earlier for Chicago. You see the overtime records of the two clubs. Shot clock down to 10 for Cleveland. Inside to Daugherty.
See, Cartwright's got 5 fouls, too. They got to get the shot off.
Ehlo for a long three. Big rebound to Pippen. Not what Cleveland wanted.
See, B.J. Armstrong here is going to get some open shots. Price is going to really help out against Michael Jordan. So B.J.'s got to look for his shot when it's there.
Foul away from the ball. It's going to be on John Williams.
See, Bob, right now at this point in the game, when we watch the jockeying around here in the post, psychologically, Cleveland's got to get the lead. At some point, they've got to get the lead. And right now, they have not been able to do that.
Here's Jordan. That's a two-pointer. He doesn't get it. Price tries to steal the rebound. Pavetta says it belongs to Chicago.
See, Horace Grant, great effort that time on the offensive boards. John Williams had inside position on him. Horace kept it alive and is going to give Chicago a chance here now for another shot. I still say B.J. Armstrong is going to take a big shot here for Chicago. Mark Price is going to give some help.
Looking for Jordan. Here's Ehlo on him. Jordan kicks it to Grant after the double team from 18 feet. Ehlo with a big rebound. Jordan almost stole it.
See, Horace had an open shot there. He didn't want to shoot it. That was sort of an afterthought. I don't know if you noticed the hesitation.
Absolutely. Ehlo fakes the three, takes it to the paint, off the glass. Offensive foul, wipe out the basket. Ehlo with 5 fouls now, and he's defensing Jordan.
Here's Ehlo. He pump fakes Michael. Here's Bill Cartwright. That's a good call. Bill Cartwright was standing in the lane, and again, Chicago thwarts Cleveland from taking the lead.
And really importantly, Ehlo, defensing Jordan, has 5 personal fouls. Here's Jordan. Here's Ehlo. The shot clock.
Got to come double team him right now. Get it out of his hands.
Jordan from 13. Jordan has 63, matching his career high, set back in '86 versus Boston in 2 overtimes. Chicago by 2. 3 minutes to go in the overtime from Richfield. Williams nowhere to go. Jordan stripped it away. Jordan fouled by Nance. It's been Michael Jordan.
How is this man not tired? I don't know how he's not tired. I mean, he's doing everything offensively. He comes down and double teams and strips John Williams in the post. Look at him. Here he comes. Look at the strength, and he just rips the ball loose. That's a good, clean steal. And he picks it up.
Now he's waiting for the ball. Pippen inside to Cartwright. The fadeaway doesn't fall, but he draws the foul.
Boy, I tell you what, Cleveland is really upset with the officiating. They felt that there was no warrant to that foul as Bill Cartwright faded away from the shot. And at the other end, they did not get that call, so they are very frustrated right now with the officiating.
That's 2 on Daugherty. It's 107-105, Chicago. 2:51 to go in overtime. Cleveland has been unable to score in the overtime period in 1 minute 9 seconds. They've had a couple of opportunities. Once again, you talk about playoff basketball. That's what we're looking at here.
You're talking about.
And once again, who do you go to? As you pointed out earlier, you've got to look for the Cartwrights to come and play big for you.
They got it. Bill Cartwright, stepped up and took an important offensive foul, and now he steps in and makes 2 free throws. So again, the little things, all right, that win basketball games. Cleveland needs to score on this possession.
Price going by Armstrong off the glass, and the free throw, a 3-point opportunity for Price. You pointed that out at the beginning of this overtime period. Price against Armstrong.
Well, that's a matchup. Mark Price, and that's not to belittle B.J. Armstrong. B.J. Armstrong is a rookie. He's cutting his teeth right now. Actually, Bill Cartwright actually got a piece of that ball. He's cutting his teeth right now against Mark Price, one of the better guards in the NBA. Mark Price has got to put the pressure on him every time down the floor.
Price has 27 in this game. Make that 30 in this game. And here's Pippen, who lost the handle on it. Cavaliers trail by 1. What a big turnover.
They need to take the lead here, Bob. I can't impress upon you enough the importance psychologically of them getting into the lead.
They're trying to get it to Nance, posted down low. Pippen stepped around, committed the foul on the entry pass. And Pippen will have 5 personal fouls. Team foul situation, 4 against the Cavs, 2 against the Bulls, with 2:17 to go in overtime. 1-point ball game. And Cleveland gets a timeout. Dick Helm filling in for the ejected Lenny Wilkins, who went out in the 3rd quarter. If your heart can stand it, following this overtime thriller. Coming up next, the Dirty Dozen starring Lee Marvin. Stay with us right after the game here on TNT. 109-108 Chicago. 2:17 remaining. It is Cleveland basketball.
Cleveland has 14 fouls, Bob. So right now, Chicago is in the penalty. Chicago only 2. So Cleveland right now still not shooting free throws. You see fouls. Jordan 4, Pippen 5, Paxson out. Williams, Ehlo, Nance all with 5. I still, and I don't want to belabor the point. B.J. Armstrong against Mark Price. Watch what happens in that matchup here in the last 2 minutes and 17 seconds of this game.
Williams will inbound. See if they run Price off the screens here.
This might be that triple, that 4 screens. Here comes Price, 4 screens.
There's 1. Here's 2.
Here comes
3.
Nance cleaning it up. Right
There's
there.
4.
And you count it right there.
And the shot. No, we needed that to fall.
That's the play. Mark Price looked over here and he smiled at me. Did you see? Huh?
He looked right at the bench at Doug Collins and said, all right, you said we'd do it. We did it. I should have hit the jumper. Minute 52 to go. Chicago leading it by 1. Jordan doesn't get the opportunity to score his 2 from the field, but Jordan at the free throw line just may set his all-time career high scoring record in this game tonight, and you folks are watching it. Jordan with 63, tying his high set in '86 versus Boston in 2 overtimes. Nance went out on the foul. He's fouled out. That obviously significant, as Bennett, Daugherty, and Williams are at the front line now. Michael Jordan just set his career scoring record of 64 points.
See, now what happens again with being in the penalty now, the severity of that is that every time Michael puts it on the floor and is fouled, he's stepping up and shooting 2 free throws. So when he beats you on the drive, you've got to hope to get help without fouling him. That's a very difficult thing to try to do.
I can't think about anything except maybe Michael will get 70. Minute 40 to go.
It
Probably
could happen if they start fouling.
Chicago by 3. Here's Price looking for Daugherty inside. Cartwright was holding him. Daugherty backs in, misses the shot, but will go to the free throw line. Brad Daugherty goes to the line.
I tell you, Mark Price, it's so funny, you know, because coaches have things they like to do in critical times. And Mark Price, when he ran that play, looked over and smiled because we talked about that before the game.
4 screens. It was fun counting them. Mark Price is still laughing every time he looks over at Doug Collins.
And we only played these guys 22 times the last 2 years.
He's glad you weren't coaching because actually it worked to perfection. He just missed the shot. Had you been coaching, you would have known that, of course, and probably had somebody take him down on about the 3rd screen.
You're right.
Right or wrong?
You're right.
1 point Chicago lead. B.J. Armstrong looking for Jordan. There he is. Winston Bennett guarding him now. Jordan pulls up from 13. He'll go to the line again.
See, there's the bump. Now Michael goes to the line, shooting 2 free throws. You got Winston Bennett playing Michael, and that's a foul. That if you're going to put Michael on the line on that, Michael's going to get his 70. Watch this now. Michael knows penalty. He drives it. That's pretty incidental contact in a game like this to put Michael on with a game of this importance to put a Michael Jordan on the foul line.
That's 66 points for Jordan. I hope you folks have seen this from the beginning. Michael Jordan has been spectacular. Cleveland has mounted a courageous effort trying to beat Chicago here. Cleveland has 8 wins in a row here at home. They're trying to move into that 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference.
Interesting substitution now. Lett is in the ball game for B.J. Armstrong. I'm sure defensively, Mark Price ought to try to take the ball at him.
3-point Chicago lead. 107 remaining. Jordan has 67. Price goes for 3. Not this time. Lost out of bounds. It'll be Cleveland ball with 57.4 remaining.
See, Lett that time when the ball went in the post left Mark Price. His job right now is to stay with Mark Price. Do not leave him and let him get that shot off.
Mark Price gets it to Williams. He's going to take it into the paint hard. He draws the foul on the drive, and John Williams will go to the free throw line. By the way, in case you're wondering, Michael with Jordan with 67 points. Wilt Chamberlain once scored 100. I guess everybody knows that back in 62. After that, it was Wilt with 78. These are all-time top performances in regular season play. Chamberlain had 73 in 62. Chamberlain had 73 again in 62. David Thompson scored 73. Denver at Detroit in 78. Then it was 72 by Chamberlain, 71 by Baylor. So you see the company that Michael Jordan is in, and I'll make one more point about that. Pete Maravich once scored 68, New Orleans versus the Knicks.
And that was against Walt Frazier, one of the better defenders.
1 point Chicago lead. Cleveland looking at that high trap. They've got Grant. Oh, Cartwright to Pippen. 10 on the shot clock for Chicago.
Now Michael's going to drive it.
There he is against Williams. The pull-up shot doesn't fall. Ehlo rebound. Cleveland could take the lead with 25 seconds to go.
Dick Helm wants a timeout. I don't think his team sees it, so they're going to go right ahead with it.
Daugherty's going to set a pick. Now they've got the mismatch. They kick it to Ehlo for 3.
Boy, Dick Helm wanted a timeout and no one saw it. You got to keep the ball out of Michael Jordan's hands and then foul here on the inbounds play.
Once again, Cleveland leads the league in 3-pointers, but not that time for a 3-pointer. They have to foul B.J. Armstrong, the rookie. But that was a chance for Cleveland to take the lead.
They have, remember psychologically, they have not done that yet in this ball game, and as a result, they've played uphill the whole time.
Greg Ehlo, the good 3-point shooter, but that certainly wasn't the shot you'd think they would have been going for. And Phil Jackson breathes a sigh of relief. Michael Jordan with a sore right arm, 67 points in this game. Since he's the league franchise, I better not say that. I better say I'm kidding. He does not have a sore right arm. Armstrong's only 2 of 6 from the line tonight.
It's a big free throw for the rookie.
All the scores from around the league right after this game. Chicago by 2. Huge free throw by B.J. Armstrong right here.
Oh, nothing but the bottom.
3-point Chicago lead. 10.7 to go in the game, and now Cleveland's got, correct me if I'm wrong, look for the 3.
Yeah, and what you say if you're Chicago, do you prevent them from getting a 3? Do you circle the line and force them to try to get inside to get a 2? But, hey, Bob, I did a game in Detroit this year where, Detroit's down to Philadelphia, 4 points with 9 seconds to go. Isaiah banks a 3, they get a steal and lay it in and end up going into overtime and winning the ball game. So, this ball game is far from being over.
Let's take a look at this Ehlo 3-point attempt. He was open for it, and it looked online.
Well, it was good penetration. You're going to watch Scottie Pippen. You see Michael Jordan, who's guarding Ehlo, help. But here comes Pippen at the last minute, and he gets a hand up and just distracts him just enough. And then the bad kick, the ball does not stay in play, and Chicago got a big break there.
Chicago leads it by 3, 115-112, 10.7 seconds to go in overtime. You see Michael Jordan coaching on the bench down there, giving instructions to the Chicago team. Cavs trying to get into that 8th and final playoff spot.
Well, you see they're at Miami. That's a winnable game. They have Indiana at home, which is very important because it's a head-to-head game in case those teams would tie. I think the series is 2-2 right now. At New York struggling, a winnable game. Atlanta at home, and then they also go to New Jersey. So some of the road games and at Orlando are winnable games. This is a devastating loss if Cleveland loses this game at home, although Bulls are playing great basketball. For Chicago, they've got a very favorable schedule. Home against New York, home Miami, Indiana, Orlando. I don't think Chicago is going to catch Detroit unless Detroit totally collapses.
There's the 3-pointers for the Cavaliers. 10.7 to go. They trail by 3.
Michael Jordan on Mark Price. Defensively, they're going to put Michael. He's a better defender to try to chase Price away from him.
They get the ball to Price, but he's got Jordan on him. Nice spin move, and he draws the hard foul from Jordan. He tried to grab him before he went down, but Jordan wanted to make sure that Mark Price didn't get the 3-point opportunity.
Well, that's a good foul by Michael. What you've done is now you put Price on the line. Now it's important now. Mark Price needs to make both these free throws. Michael chasing him, and when he sees he can shoot a 3, he fouls him. Now, in the CBA, that's 3 free throws. And I like the rule where if you foul a 3-point shooter, it's 3 free throws because that prevents that foul from occurring. You've got to play tough defense without allowing that foul to happen. Oh, big miss.
Big miss by Mark Price. And the foul, John Williams on Grant with 7.6 to go.
Boy, that's a big miss. Cleveland has been so close, but yet they just have not been able to finish it.
And Price has had a spectacular game, if vastly overshadowed by Jordan. Price has 31 in this game. Chucky Brown is in to replace John Williams. Grant will go to the line. 72% free throw shooter, but as you pointed out, Doug, he is inconsistent. So let's see what Horace Grant does here. These 2 are big free throws because Chicago leads by 2. Misses the first one.
Hey, he misses this shot. Even if he makes it, if I'm Chicago, I got to think about as they're pushing the ball up the floor, if they don't call timeout, to foul again and not let him get a 3-point shot off. Watch Michael Jordan against Chucky Brown for this rebound if there's a miss.
Grant misses. Rebound Jordan past Chucky Brown. You heard Doug Collins call it. Unbelievable. He stole the rebound from Chucky Brown. And the reason Chucky Brown was in there is because Williams went to the bench with his 6th personal foul.
See, Chucky Brown did not get, Michael Jordan locked him up underneath the basket and pushed him. And, you've got to be very, you could just see it happening. And now Michael Jordan with 2 free throws will seal the game.
And about 1 million rebounds for Jordan tonight also. That was his 18th rebound to go with 67 points. And 6 assists. Oh, he fell off in that area of his game tonight. Maybe he'll work on that in practice.
Well, let me see then. Michael was 6 assists. That's 12. And how many points? 60, how many?
Let me correct that to 7 now that we recheck the statistics.
So 7, that's 14 points he accounted for, and then he has 67?
Exactly.
So what is that math, 81? He's accounted for 81 of the 115 points?
Pretty good contribution tonight. Career high, 67 points, and you folks were here to see it. And he's not finished. He's going to probably end up one short of the 70 mark, but this will tie him with Pete Maravich right there. Pete Maravich had 68 along with Wilt Chamberlain. Maravich scored his 68 in 1977.
Cleveland is absolutely shell-shocked right now. They can't believe that Michael Jordan can continue to do this to him. This has been unbelievable.
69 points for Michael Jordan. And that puts Jordan in, let me just count them out loud here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8th place all-time on NBA scorers. And of those 8, 6 are held by Wilt Chamberlain. Only David Thompson and Elgin Baylor, other than Chamberlain, have scored more than Michael Jordan in a game.
Well, let me tell you an interesting story about the David Thompson, all right? David Thompson scored that many points. What is it, 73? That was the last day of the season, all right?
78.
With those 73 points, he took the scoring lead over George Gervin by percentage points. George Gervin was playing in New Orleans against the Jazz on that particular night. He needed 60-something points in order to reclaim the scoring title. He scored 64 or 65 points against New Orleans to win by percentage points against David Thompson. That was the last game of the season that year. So just a little trivia there for you, Coach Neal.
That's the all-time trivia remembrance of a significant historical fact as related to a player's career high in the NBA.
That's right.
A night of records. Michael Jordan has 69 points in this ball game. The Bulls have the lead by 4 with 4.2 seconds. So unless somebody fouls on a 4-pointer, and Chicago has done that before, you may recall.
Oh, don't even say that.
Craig Hodges, playoff game, Knicks. Remember that one? Just last year. But the Bulls went ahead to win that ball game. Coach Collins drew some. No, you don't have any gray hair, but you should have grown some gray hair from that one. There's Jordan with his 69 talking to Mark Price. Between them, they've scored 100 points.
Oh, he stepped to it back court.
Over and back. John Morton, the rookie, stepped over and back, and Cleveland does not get the opportunity to shoot the ball.
That's a rookie mistake. In college, you can go back there, and at that time, he went to the back court. You've got to make sure that in those timeouts, you let the guys know that they can throw it into Michael and foul him and then get 70.
Pippen's just going to hold on to it. It's been a beauty at Richfield Coliseum. A tough loss for Cleveland. The Bulls get a 4-point overtime victory. Michael Jordan with 69 points, and you saw him walk past the defender, Craig Ehlo. Remember what he said. The front page sports story here in Cleveland was, Ehlo, tough defender against Jordan. Jordan said, yes, he's good. I consider it a challenge. We'll be right back to Richfield.
Now let's go back to Bob Neal and Doug Collins for the excitement, the suspense. Who will be tonight's player of the game, gentlemen?
Craig, if you had been listening in the first quarter, Doug and I named Michael player of the game early in this game. It's Chicago 117 over Cleveland 113. And yes, our Miller Lite player of the game on his career high 69 points. Michael Jordan, 18 rebounds, 6 assists. By the way, not shown there are 4 steals to go along with that. On behalf of Miller Lite TNT, proud to donate $1,000 to the Multiple Sclerosis Foundation in the name of Michael Jordan. Be sure to stay with TNT as NBA action continues with a Friday doubleheader. Knicks at the Bulls, followed by the Trail Blazers and Lakers, a big Pacific Division matchup. The whole doubleheader starts at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So Michael Jordan puts on a show tonight, a courageous performance by the Cleveland Cavaliers, trying to get that important win that would have moved them into the 8th and final playoff spot in the Eastern Conference. Jordan, 69 points, 18 rebounds. For Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Richfield Coliseum.